Legends Landing. Wacht. Kan ik niet private doen of zo? Oké, what the fuck?
But you're already impressing us. Imagine, Levin, how the rest of the weekend is going to go.
It's gonna get crazy.
Map is helemaal veranderd.
I mean, the teams that we have competing here today, some of your spawn battles, the different storylines, these amazing fans, it's gonna be a great weekend.
It's gonna be such a great weekend, and with more reasons why, let's head over to Zeke and the desk.
What the fuck? Teams. Hij is om te fighten waarschijnlijk. Het is helemaal veranderd nu. Holy shit. Defensie is half legends. Select modes, view modes, interact. Hallo. Deze club werkt wel, what the fuck. What?
This week absolutely fly by with all of their ideas, and then of course we have the fans who are going to be bringing the energy. Nothing matches the ambiance, the vibes of a LAN, and being here halfway through the year at the summit. I mean, Dusseldorf, how are we feeling? That's right. That's right. We know y'all are excited because we are too. There is so much to discuss, so many things to talk about. What are we doing here? How do we make it? Well, let's talk about that format, right? We all know adding in that additional...
Kijk, nog even wat zin zit nu. Kijk. Is die even in of zo? Voilà. Het is duo. Ik heb mijn controllers kapot, man, die knop werkt niet. Je moet echt high-card doen. Ja, voilà. Kan niet sprinten. Een andere mensen, ja, ik kan de controllers kapot. Met een andere pakken, man. Ik kan ook niet in view mode. Dus ik moet even naar de lobby. Raar, man. Kankerraar. Deze net opgeladen. Ik zal de andere even insteken. Die moeten wel werken. Voilà. Hoezo kan ik niet gewoon, zeg maar, alleen in die dingen gaan? Ik kan weer niet sprinten, man. Oh, hoe kan dat? Ah, diezelfde knop is squad request. Als het daardoor komt, bro, dan pak hem. De knop, maar het doet het niet.
They all got to be feeling pretty confident because they just did well in their regional FNCS. 100%. I mean, there's over 25 different nationalities competing here today, but going from your home region to an international stage, we have the best from all the regions competing in the same place. I mean, this is the upper bracket. This is where we're going to get a taste of the competition. This just looks like Global's light, right? A preview of what that could be like, but obviously being here in person means we also get to be around the players, get their thoughts and insights. Frankie is standing by right now with Alex and Reckless.
Thank you so much. I feel like you are an icon of the Oceania Fortnite scene by now, Alex. What's it like to be back on LAN again?
I'm excited, honestly. I'm just keen to represent OC again and hopefully come home with a good placement.
You always lead in eliminations in your region, it feels like. Are you going to be that aggressive now you're in an international LAN?
Of course.
Really? Because I was speaking to Gerald, one of the other Australian players, and he was saying that he thinks you're going to play scared.
I don't play scared. I've been here like so many times before. I got AFNCS wins. There's no reason to be scared, to be honest.
There is no reason to be scared. I like that very much. Reckless, this is your first LAN. How are you feeling?
There's no nerves. I'm playing with the best.
Daar kan ik wel interacten, maar de andere niet.
Why did it take so long for you guys to play together?
You
Holy
should ask
fuck.
him that. I've been asking him to play it.
Okay, then Alex.
Honestly, we played a tournament ages ago. We won the tournament. I always knew Reckless was good. It just stuff didn't align until the start of this year.
Ah, maar ik heb wel, zeg maar, de vierkantjes zeggen. Ja, view mode. Je kan nergens fullscreen doen of zo. En je kan niet sprinten.
And now you've got the feeling of winning with Alex. We are gonna at LAN. We're gonna feel that at LAN, but you've got to achieve it first, boys. There's 3 days of competition to go before we can declare you the winner. So we're gonna head back to the desk.
I love getting to be around these players, right? Get their thoughts, get their insights. Reckless. Send in some shots Alex's way. It's all good though, all for the love of the game. But that was one of your recent champions out of Major #1. So what better place to start, especially when we kind of get together on a single battle bus, than kind of check with our champs, right? Yeah, these are, of course, going to be all the duos that we're going to be keeping a spotlight on throughout the weekend. Namely, you know, because think about the meta right now. Our Major 1 was just simply a month ago, so all of these winners of their regional championships, they got to be feeling pretty confident coming into this thing, and they got to be feeling pretty comfortable as well. Or are they going to be feeling comfortable, right? When you take a look at the duo like Alex and Reckless, they won their regional FNCS from Sandy Strip, but they're actually opting to go ahead and switch that up, which I actually do kind of like, because they're going for an uncontested split shop, which is just to the south of Sandy Strip. So they're still going to be landing in an area that they are familiar with. A little bit of a change there, but they've had a month to prepare. I'm sure they're feeling good.
Yeah, if we look at Alex's previous performances at international events of this caliber, we've got 49th, 45th, the best one being 24th. So Reckless was saying, what took you so long to pick me up? Well, maybe now's the time. They stopped going to the best POI on the map and being contested. Now, not as good as a POI, but uncontested. So will that be the difference they needed?
Bij Global 2025 kan je wel fullscreen doen. En nu niet. Misschien kan ik hier aanpassen. Nee, ik kan niet. Je kan niet. Private of.
Which is why, you know, securing your drop spot at a, you know, a LAN like this is just so difficult because so many regions kind of come together and want those strong, powerful spots. But being uncontested, we've seen it before, we talk about it all the time, it is such a big advantage.
It definitely is. And speaking about
Volgens mij is het gewoon dat je niet fullscreen kan, omdat dan anders als zeg maar content stelen is. Als je het fullscreen hebt en dan lijkt het alsof het jouw content is, maar het is niet jouw content. Dus misschien daarom.
2 second places, 1 third, but now this season, they got that championship title they were looking for, and now finally they'll be able to compete together on a global stage.
Don't you just love how different it is from duo to duo? I mean, we're just talking about Alex and Reckless, how they're kind of figuring things out. They're like, oh yeah, we're a new duo coming into this year, but then you have another duo like this who I really like the approach that they've been together for 3 years, so they're going to be feeling comfortable in terms of who's going to be in the server with them, but maybe a little bit less comfortable in the early game because, again, these smaller regions are all kind of going to be doing the same thing, moving away from their POIs that they won those FNCSs and opting for an uncontested split trap. Very similar situation to Alex and Reckless. Gone tonight, they're going to be leaving Battlewood. They're going to go to a split trap that's on the southeast side of the map. We'll have to see how they do.
Yeah, look, I just know there's going to be a lot of surprises today.
Okay, well, guess what? Frankie is standing by with the duo right now. Let's hear from him.
Thank you so much, guys. Also, big thanks to Ricardo for translating for the boys from Brazil.
Nog even voor mijn crouch op kanker op alsjeblieft, man.
What's it like to play Fortnite in Brazil at the moment? What's the meta?
O meta no Brasil ele é muito mais agressivo do que aqui fora. Aqui fora parece que todo mundo joga mais na cabeça, mais concentrado, e a gente é mais agressivo, a gente gosta de ser mais agressivo.
So in Brazil, our meta is way more aggressive. Here, the players are more mental, like they play slower, they like to start the calls. That's the main difference.
Does that mean that you need to slow down as well?
I don't think so. Oh, sorry. Eu acho que não, porque isso, pra mim, é o meu estilo de jogo ser mais agressivo. Eu sempre me dei bem fazendo isso, até mesmo na LAN em 2024, no Pro-Am em 2025. Então, acho que eu vou continuar fazendo a mesma coisa.
I don't think I need to slow down. I think I have a very good playstyle, and I think
Deze versie van Legends Landing is best wel shit eigenlijk. Dus best wel shit. Ik kan er ook niet bouwen, dus ik kan niet maar een goede plek pakken. Best wel shit. Ja. Je kunt kijken dus. En als tennis komt, dan kunnen we praten en zo. Je weet. Opdek het konijn.
I'm very happy. I'm very happy to be here with Gong. I got my visa this time, and I'm just looking forward.
Well, good luck, guys. Obrigado. Let's head back to the desk.
You know, Takano, I'm excited, right? In Brazil, they said to themselves, they like to get a little more active. They like to take the fight to the other players, but this LAN setting might be a tiny bit different.
Look, the good news for Gone Tonight is above them, there's 6 duos contesting each other. Not the same spot, but basically from how close they are to each other, so they will definitely have the opportunity to play aggressive.
Yeah. All right. Oh, go ahead. Oh, sorry, I got excited. I jumped ahead. I was like, hold on. We also got to check in all these other regions, Middle East, Asia. FKS and Hero out of Middle East, bringing it back here to a LAN stage.
Zijn dit voor dikzakken dan, bro? What the fuck? What the fuck? Ik heb een heel goed idee eigenlijk.
Where they won their FNCS from, and they were going northwest of the map to a split shop where they did have that uncontested, but again, some last minute changes actually have them going to a split shop that is just south of Frigid Fortress. So again, one of these smaller region duos who are getting the split shop that's not necessarily the main POI, but very, very close to where I feel like they got to be feeling comfortable, right? They're going to be familiar with the area. They're going to know how to play it out, and they're going to be uncontested.
Yeah, I mean, 8x FNCS champions. They swap spots with Dimish and Darm. It's a great drop spot, and they're uncontested.
Waar is hij zitten? Wordt het ding aangepast?
Is kind of new for an international event of this caliber, so having the second most FNCS wins of any duo competing today, I'm excited to see what they do.
You know what else I'm excited about? It's got to be Yuma, it's got to be Toyota. When I think back to this duo, kind of go to the same place. What kind of new tech might we see out of them? Obviously, there's would love to talk about that and their off-spawn situation.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the fact that Z kind of points it out because I expect to learn something every single time that I watch this duo play. So I'll be looking forward to something crazy kind of happening this week where we're going to be like, wait, what? You can do that?
I love to see it. I mean, not only that, they're always breaking records, making history. In the 2025 Major 3, they won 8 out of 12 matches in trios. They even, look, we had some practice games yesterday, and they ended up winning the first match. Now, it was a practice game, but I think they're feeling quite on fire for today.
Yeah, but I feel like that's going to add so much to the confidence as well. Again, kind of continuing this trend here with these smaller regions. They're going to be leaving Dark the minute and opting for a split jump that's going to be just
Zo'n deze setting,
of Land. So it'll be interesting
deze,
to kind of see how that
wacht
one
nu,
plays out for the duo.
we zitten eigenlijk, Legacy Default.
Excited. Like I'm trying to contain myself because I love being in this environment with this amazing crowd. We got to keep the conversation going. Right, let's bounce on over to EU. Sky and Scroll, the talk of EU. But what's interesting here is obviously their off-spawn situation. They're splitting with Benno, right? So what might that mean for this? Yeah, it's going to be kind of crazy. I got to talk about Sky and Scroll for a minute here, and I'm going to use 2 words to kind of describe this duo. The first word that I want to use is dominant. Obviously, we all kind of watched that EU FNCS, and that's exactly what they were. They almost won by 100 points, which is pretty much unheard of in a very, very tough region like that. The second word that I want to use is influential, and the reason why I want to go ahead and use that word is because shout out to a player that we're unfortunately not going to be seeing this weekend, Wheezy. He went ahead and tweeted out a couple of weeks post Major 1 finals. He was like, wait a minute. All of a sudden, Higher Ground just kind of feels free in this divisional cup. Like what's going on? And then a well-known coach in the region, Raz, went ahead and replied to him and was like, well, yeah, dude, everybody must have VOD reviewed Sky and Scroll and how dominant they were from the low ground. And now everybody's on the low ground. He was like, dude, try playing low ground right now. It's an absolute mess. So Sky and Scroll played so well in EU Major 1.
Oh, het is een kankerblauw, horen zo niet met kankerbeeld zijn. Haat dat publiek.
They literally changed the game. I mean, over 100 points from second place. They
Thank God, man.
dominated EU, but if we focus back on that early game, I'm curious to how it's going to play out today. They have Curve and Venom directly south of them, and the thing is, what they excelled in the major finals on EU was, you know, we have Net Surge now, and they just did not take damage. They were so good at not taking damage. They would build up by their drop spot. They would get significantly more damage than they received, and they were just so consistent. So can they keep it on an international stage?
Well, as much as we love talking about them, why don't we talk directly to them, because Frankie is standing by with them right now.
Why not indeed, Zeke? Scroll. Before this year, you've never placed inside the top 5 of a major, and now you're going into LAN as the favorites. How did you turn this around?
I think we just practiced while everyone was basically sleeping, and then we used it as
How many times or how many hours do you practice a day?
I think around 12 hours can do it right now.
And yet you're also fitting in all your other obligations, family, school, life.
Yeah, exactly.
That's incredible. But you did place 28th at our last Globals in 2025. What do you think held you back there?
I mean, we were like new to the scene. We weren't that experienced, so going into it, we were pretty nervous and we were contested as well. So I think we just did our best back then, and now we're way more experienced.
And one of the interesting thing about you guys, and one of the things I think makes you so strong, is that you've been playing together for years now. Was there ever a point you said, we're not getting the results we need, maybe we need to look elsewhere?
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of times where I judged girl for a short period, tried playing with some other people, but it just didn't better, and we decided to play again and just stick together and improve.
So I want to ask you about the fact that it seems like all the teams have been watching you and reviewing you, and now they want to go for the low ground as well. Does that mean you have to flex now and set a new meta?
Yeah, I mean, we'll just go high ground every game now.
See, I don't know. Can I trust you? Are you thinking the high ground is now king again?
I don't know. We'll see.
We will see. Okay, one quick question, okay? You are going to be dropping at North Battlewood today. Everyone here, all the other players knows that's your domain. But Venno and Curve dropping below you, we know they like to make those sneaky lurk plays. Have you got a message for them?
We're ready for it.
Are you? Because Venno, I think you might have just heard that. You're standing by, right, at the telestrator with 11-2K and Mini Miner?
That's right, from the north side of Battlewood all the way down to south. We are here with multi-regional FNCS champion Venno. There he is. He is here. Now, of course, you guys won from the north side of Battlewood. Now here this weekend, you're landing at the south. Why?
I didn't want to contest them. I'm playing with a controller player, so it's a little hard on LAN to be able to get the guns. And they have very good drops, to be fair.
Yeah, we saw that in EU, of course, didn't we? I mean, Battlewood Boulevard, a very good drop spot from Sky and Score. We've seen them play it in a very interesting way as well. The way that they actually end up playing this drop spot is really, really important, I think, in terms of the way they actually went and won that FNCS. They sort of based up on one of the hills just outside, as we'll have a look right here. One of these hills just up on here. We saw one of them going there, and then, of course, another one looting up in here. Then, of course, going back to that base up on top of that hill and waiting for the storm to come on in, playing a lot more of that storm. So, do you think they can play that same way this weekend?
I think they're going to try to also mix up a little bit. I'm not entirely sure what their plan is, but can I mark?
Yeah, of course you can.
All right. So in the Grands, they would play this position here. Obviously, one would play main and hide out. But I think one thing about it that I wasn't really a fan of was they played the same way for 3 months straight. Now, if you play the same way for 3 months straight, people are eventually going to find counter strats. And what I felt happened was people didn't counter strat. The same people kept coming and coming, and you kept getting damaged. They kept getting damage along here, along here, along here, and I don't think they should have. If you play the same surge base for 3 months, you really shouldn't be getting damaged. But they won the Grands, so I guess what can I say?
I think that actually is really important as far as how you guys played the spot on NA, right? Because on NA, you know, you spent a lot of the Div Cup sort of running to center, but then when it came to Grands, you decided, yeah, we're just going to fight everybody around us. What was the sort of thought process there as far as the strategy?
I liked running deep. I think it works really well. But eventually what started happening was he would start counter-strat. So he was surge basing on the gas station in front of us. Rapid was surge basing. You couldn't see it was happening, but I felt that's what was going to happen. I kind of like predicted how Grand was going to play out, because Rapid never surge based. He always ran deep.
You guys benefited a lot from a lot of the contested teams around your spot in NA finals, and maybe you could argue the quality of some of those, you know, players in the finals. Do you think you have that same advantage in this lobby?
To be honest, I think LAN is easier than the Grand Finals, because you have all these cross-region people come, and they're just licks and they're nervous.
Deze moet even.
Big talk. Very big talk. Thank you so much, Benno.
Nee. Niet dus.
Yeah, Zeke just found out LAN's easier. It's easier. Only Benno. Yeah, Benno. Well, when you're Benno, you can say that. I guess many people can't quite say that. Shout out to Benno. Love, again, this kind of environment we can talk directly to them. We obviously have our ideas and we can kind of put things together, but hearing from him directly, so
Picture
awesome.
in
Now another region
the volume of picture in picture. Geen idee wat dat is.
Kanada in victory. Kanada really said, all right, NAC, this has been a great time. I'm going to go play West and just see how it goes. Oops, I won.
I mean, obviously, his plane ride wasn't as far as Veno's in terms of switching regions here, but Kanada, yeah, opted to go ahead and go towards NA West after finding, you know, couldn't really find a duo here on NAC, but I gotta tip my hat to the duo because they talk the talk and they walk.
Dit is alles waarschijnlijk. Ja. Dus even op maximaal zetten.
Their drop spot at Sandy Strip, they said that is ours now. Issue is, it's harder to do that on an international stage. They've got players like Chino and Paulo right beside them. This is one of the practice games. The only practice game. The best in EU. You also
Waar ga je gem tank doen, bro? Bij de transgender.
This is going to be a lot more difficult than some might
think. Dit doen.
Obviously, you know, the way it's kind of panned out with like Kanada and Victor V might get that west side of Sandy all to themselves and kind of let the other two duos just kind of scrap it out. I think that's obviously like a big advantage because you can potentially go ahead and pick on those duos while they're fighting if it ends up panning out. But no, Kanada, man, we know this guy for the experience. 29 total FNCS finals appearances, has yet to miss one. He's just so good. He has the experience. So if there's going to be anybody on the map that knows how to take advantage of a couple of duos fighting in the surrounding area, it's got to be this guy. Oh, man. And, you know, I mean, we've seen him get wins on LAN before, right? You know, when that happens, we get the big reaction. Brace. You know, he's loud. He's going to be jumping out of his seat. Someone's going to take a picture of him mid-air, and it's going to be the greatest aura moment ever.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see it happen.
Oh, my gosh. Anyway, you know what? I'm getting word. Frankie's standing by right now with Kanada.
Not just Kanada, Mini PO as well. And first of all, Kanada, you did so well, top 5 at Globals last year. So I'm curious to know why you're landing now at Sandy Strip, because potentially you're going to be triple contested here. Is this going to wreck your chances?
I mean, I'm gonna try my best landing here. The reason why I'm landing here is because I won like out of West landing Sandy. I feel the most confident landing here, and I know that like the entire area around Sandy. So it's like even if I can't play with all the loot and like anything more than like just the left side, I'll still make it work. I'll still make it happen, and I'll still qualify to finals, no problem.
This is like the most focus I've ever heard Canada. So Mini Pio, Canada is saying that he's landed at Sandy Strip before. He knows the area really well. He's really confident. But why are you wanting to land there when there are other
Aziaten kunnen geen Engels goed.
カナダさんはこのランドマークよく分かってるし、すごく自信があるんですので、あそこに降下するんですが、じゃあどうして同じランドマークに降下してショートファイトしたいですか？
まあ。今シーズンずっと降りてて、カナダだけも強いけど俺らの方が強いですよってことを証明してみせます。
So yeah, we've been landing this same spot the whole season, and obviously, like Canada is a very strong opponent. We understand that, but we're gonna still fight it, contest it, give our best, and probably win.
Do you have to change your approach now that you're on LAN?
今オフ大会に来たんですので、普通より戦略が違うことがあるんですか？
いやそうですね。本番になってのお楽しみで。
Yeah, I'm just enjoying that we're actually right here on this final, the actual tournament.
Mini Pio, we're excited to have you here. Canada, one last thought from you, because you know that Pablo and Chino are the other duo who are going to be landing Sandy Strip. Have you got any words for them?
Pablo and Chino, I mean, if they play their game right, they should easily top 5, I think. But if they're trying to grief us, you know we're going to grief them right back, so...
All right, can I ask that the observers, can we just watch Sandy Strip at the start of the first game, please? Let's head back to the desk.
You know, we might just have to, Frankie, and I agree with her. You know, Kanata, normally he comes out, he's big, he's loud, smiles all around. He's got a bit of focus going on right now.
It's a little odd, right? Even Frankie immediately called it out. Where's the energy, man? He's not jumping up and down, screaming. I'm sure we'll kind of see it throughout the weekend for sure. But yeah, cool, calm, and collected. Which I mean, hey, love it.
Absolutely, bro. You know what? And if you've been any kind of tapped in to Fortnite at all, you know the story leading into Summit has been Clicks versus Peterbot. It kind of started with Peterbot kind of being like, all right, Clicks, let me kind of mess around. Let me see what's going on over here. And then he's like, all right, I've had my fun. I'm going to go this way. Then Clicks was like, wait, I'm contesting you now.
Zeke, Fortnite fan, please excuse me for the next 30 seconds. I am taking my unbiased mask off, and I am putting on my biased one as I am from NA. What the heck are we doing, regionally speaking, man? Everybody just wants to go head-to-head. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, you're from NA. Why don't I just go ahead and land on another NA player? What the heck? But obviously, Clicks versus Peterbot, we've talked about it all throughout Major What. Okay, Viv is back. Dude, we get to watch, like, 2 of the biggest names from a region go head-to-head immediately off spawn. As I'm currently saying that, I do apologize, Fortnite fan, because honestly, I don't think anybody here up in the desk knows what's actually going to happen to Oswan. I mean, Clicks and Hig, they were talking all of the talk. They were like, dude, we're going to land on you guys, yada, yada, yada. And then we got here and practice games were happening and conversations were happening. And now Takata, it seems like Clicks and Higgs are going back to wonky.
I mean, that's the good news for you, Vivid. You said you didn't want to see it happen. I don't think it's very likely that it will happen. I mean, on the drop map, Peterbot and Clicks are marked as contesting each other. But based on the practice games, Clicks was winning basically all the off spawns in Wonky against Shark and Teeny. So we'll see if they decide to actually commit to the Squibbly, but I think more likely we're probably going to see them at Wonky.
We hope, right, Viv? We hope. That's all we hope for. All right, Frankie is standing by right now with the duo. Frankie, good luck.
Yeah, I think I need it because I've just seen some footage that these two were fighting in the back of my interview with Canada and Mini Pio. Pete, can you explain yourself, please?
That was nuts. That could have been anyone, bro.
Really? I'm not so sure because there's only one Clicks.
You said both of us were fighting. Only one of us were fighting. It was me fighting him.
Well, why are you trying to knock him out the game before you've got into the lobby?
Well, he's actually landing on me.
Is he though? Because it sounds like you're trying to land on him, but no one believes that you're landing on him.
You know, media says a bunch of stuff, but the real truth is I'm 6-0 today. I'm landing on him, and I'm eliminating him.
Oh, so are you landing at Wonky Land too?
No, he's landing on Squibbly apparently, but he's lying. There's no way he lands Squibbly. He's a good boy. He's gonna go Wonky Land. I mean, yeah.
So, Pete, what would your reaction be if he did come to Squibbly Shores today?
Honestly, I just respect him more because
of what I do to him all year. So, I mean, I can't even be mad, you know what I mean?
But haven't you beaten him off spawn before?
Yeah, I actually, he actually conned me at wonky. I 2v1'd him, and then they left like a good boy that you are.
Am I talking to a bunch of good boys here?
Definitely not. He's the good boy. He's the reason. He's gonna get
Bro, deze guys haten elkaar zo erg, bro. Ik kon geweldig om te kijken, bro. Echt niet normaal, what the fuck.
Okay, so just be a pair
What
of
the
good boys for me
fuck?
now. Sit, stay, let's head back to the desk.
What is happening? What is happening? All right. Anyway, so yeah, we still don't know. Still have no idea, right? This is only going to be settled once the game actually starts. But you know, Takada, if this is real, if this is a situation in which they actually are looking to contest each other, I feel like for me, I'm kind of looking at like expectation versus legacy.
Yeah, I was fully convinced Clix was going to go wonky, but after that, I'm not sure. Now, to answer your question, Zeke, we can look at Peterbot, and if you look just at the placements from Peterbot, they're really not bad at all, but people are like, is he starting his downfall? Like, what's going on? Because if you look at the prior 2 years, 2025, second, first in the majors. 2024, second, first in the majors as well in duos, and even winning the global championship with his duo, Poyo. Since then, it's really hard to live up to those expectations, but on the other side, you have Clix, one of only 5 players competing here today who have qualified both for the 2019 World Cup and here at the Major Summit LAN. So if they do go head-to-head, I mean, I'm excited for it.
Man, obviously you're kind of talking about the experience on one side, the expectations on the other. I'm a little bit worried about the mental side of things, right? I will say that they did look like they were in light spirits. I seemed like they were kind of being friendly, obviously, kind of bantering behind the Kanata interview when we did kind of check them out there. But for Clix, man, it seemed like Major number 1 locked in, right? Him and Higgs just seemed like they wanted one thing and one thing only, and that was to go ahead and win Major 1. But now it kind of seems like there's like some more jokes, right? Maybe that'll help them out. I don't really know, but it just seems like a little bit less locked in, which could really actually help them out if you think about it.
Okay, but in a world where this actually goes down, and again, we don't know. I feel like we've just been pulled back and forth. We come in going, yeah, they're being contested. Then we see these practice games like, wait, they're over there. That's not where you're supposed to be. And now we're getting these testimonials from them directly. If they actually contest each other, how does this go down?
I mean, listen, Pete and Poyo have been regarded as like the best fighters in the world forever, right? They're just known for getting eliminations. Surely they're favored? I don't know.
Look, if that happens, I'm looking at Acorn Bolts, NA's Last Hope, maybe even Cold Rapid. They're going to have to make something happen, because with Pete and Clix going head-to-head, I don't know how that's going to end up.
Oh my gosh, that is so crazy. Obviously, again, I love hearing from the players, the vibes, the energy here. Being on LAN has been incredible. There's so many things, like getting to hang out with these players, hear from them. We have a bunch of co-streamer booths happening here as well. The crowd is here, guys. The vibes this weekend have just been incredible.
Definitely has it, you know, and I'm really, really happy that you kind of talked about the creators, because all those like practice games that Takada has been talking about throughout, right? They were kind of the ones putting all of them on. We had a bunch of kind of 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s that were kind of happening throughout the weekend that kind of sparked up some regional, you know, conversation there. So just on the backs of those guys up there.
Yeah, I mean, looking at some of the stuff going on in the practice lounge, turns out Virgo might be the best creative player in the world, just taking out every single region, all the Titans. I mean, there's just been so much action, so much excitement, and I'm excited to kick things off here for the upper bracket.
And I mean, for all of the, you know, the fans at home who maybe weren't able to make it out, like, what can you guys give them as, you know, like, you need to be here next time to see this thing? What has that been, that thing for you?
Man, I don't know. It's just the environment, right? Like, I just really, really do love the environment that we get to experience. Like, we get to see, you know, Frankie was kind of calling it out, Clix and Peterbot, quote unquote, fighting in the background. They get to just physically interact and kind of check out what's going on. It kind of really does seem the dynamic where we're able to have a face-to-face conversation with someone rather than just kind of like online.
Those moments like Clix, who gifted a PC to Josh Riley 2 years ago, meeting him in person now, like it's those little moments when you get to see these connections from players, competitors, friends, even, you know, enemies in some cases that have been competing or playing together for so long. This is the only time you get to experience something like it.
And you know what's really interesting about that as well, from obviously maybe more the player side is, you know, NA, we've already actually taken our first L this weekend before the summit even began. Yep. Baxity did in fact lose the race.
Biggest announcement.
You know, that has something to do with the summit, but, you know, shout out to them, of course, Ozzy as well, all of our friends who have been here. The spirits are incredible.
Walkout gaan daar beginnen, boys.
We're getting ready to bring in all of the players any moment now. So why don't we go ahead, head on over, meet up with Frank.
Thank you very much, guys. Let's check in with Dusseldorf. How are we feeling? Now, we are going to have 50 jurors take to the stage in just a moment, but this, as Zeke mentioned, is the upper bracket. That means no one goes home after today's competition. The top 25 jurors will go through to Championship Sunday. They'll get an extra day to rest and also practice. And then the bottom 25 jurors will join the teams who qualified through the last chance qualifier. And let's face it, everyone wants to make it through to the grand finals today. So please, Dusseldorf, join me in welcoming your team!
De walkouts beginnen, boys. Zico en Malibuka als eerste. Oha. Was er ook een repairs. Oh, de T6-7 in 2020, bro. Get out. Get out. Oh, deze ken ik niet. Ja, Argentinië, ja. Visuals en breed. XP42, bro. Cringe en Twy. Let's go. Victor V en Canada. Hier ben ik echt benieuwd naar dit team. Darm team is top 5 van Europa. En ze doen allebei de 6-7, bro. Get out. Stop, stop, stop. Yep, compenser. Contested in Painted Palms. Dit team moet me ook eigenlijk niet zoveel. Chap en Flixie, bro. Goats. The Goats. Mannen 2-6-7, bro. Get out. Ja. Oh, 5 mensen of zo hebben 6-7 gedaan, bro. Get out, get out, get out, get out. No way.
So much success in Div Cups. 3 FNCS major wins between you. Why are people underestimating you right now, Malibuka?
It's fine. We don't mind that we're like on the radar. We'll just show ourselves in the finals.
Do you think people are going to give you space at Frigid Fortress today?
I mean, they can try to stop us. We'll just force it out.
And I think all the duos should be listening to this man. I'm just going to pop in between you. Vico, you tweeted today about being nervous. This is you. Do you need a tech talk?
Yeah, I mean, I woke up today not feeling my best, you know, but since I got my gold right here, my best teammate ever, you know, I'm feeling confident. I talked to my mental coach, Pappy. I talked to my friends, all that. I'm feeling hyped, I'm feeling confident, and I hope I can, you know, not disappoint Düsseldorf.
And you won't disappoint Düsseldorf, and you won't disappoint Austria either. Vico and Malibuka, good luck today. Let's head over to Leppen.
Thank you very much, Frankie. I'm here with NA West's finest. We got Victor V and Canada in the building. Victor, I feel like we see so many people big.
Guys hebben FNCS gewoon op NA West.
Biggest fan. Pops is always saying a lot. Shout out to Pops. But I want to see you big yourself up. What does everybody in this arena need to know about you today?
All you guys need to know is that me and Canada, we're just going to dominate today.
Deze guy is nog jong, hoor.
Dropping 20 bombs.
Ik ben niet oud, maar heel jong.
That's just how we're moving today.
Of course, Canada. Situation. There's been a lot of question marks about it. It looks a bit confusing to people. What's going to happen today, from your
We moeten nog maar een fight om dat big deze game.
I personally think me and Pablo are going to qual up or to finals, and the Asia team is sadly not going to qual because they're conning our side. I'm not going to let that slide.
What's going to happen if anyone comes to your side?
I mean, obviously, we're going to eliminate them.
Keeping it simple. Keeping it simple. Back to you, Frankie.
Thank you very much. I was just chatting to the guys about what I was going to talk to them about. And of course, I've got to talk to you about playing in Germany. Flixie, what's it like to compete in front of a home crowd?
I mean, it's an unbelievable feeling playing in my home country. I'm really hyped and I'm happy to everybody
Chap
be here.
and Flixie.
And Chap, I know you're Swiss, but you speak perfect German. Can the German crowd claim you as one of their own this weekend?
I think so, yeah.
So the casters were saying that you didn't have the smoothest journey to getting to this stage. How hard have you been practicing since you qualified for LAN?
We practice a lot and I think we're confident.
And Flixie, you have got so much experience at a LAN like this. What's the key to success?
I mean, I think the biggest key to success is to just play like at home and like not be nervous and yeah, just be confident.
Is it strange playing against your ex-teammates? Like Vico's just over there, Veno's somewhere over there too.
Nah, like I think we're all good vibes, like we like each other and I just hope the best for them.
Yeah, I hope the best for everyone here, including you two. Good luck, guys. Let's bring out the next duos.
Let's go. Gaan we. Focus en Thomas. Was Focus al zo uit? Hij is best wel top. Dat het. Omdat hij Israël of zo. Cringe en Volko. This guy is 3 minutes. I drop in Marisco. Go. Europa moet gewoon goed doen, man. Acorn en Bolt. Hier ben ik ook wel benieuwd naar dit duo. Heel benieuwd. What the fuck? Moeten we eruit zijn, dat kan je anders. Hij zit er. Suzy en Pixie. Right. Crazy.
Thomas, it's amazing to have you back on LAN. Are you feeling any kind of LAN?
Thomas HD, de Arsenal van hoe heet het?
I think so. This could be the one.
It could be the one. I know Denmark's behind you. For you, Focus, what's it like knowing that you have such a mechanically skilled duo?
I mean, he's the best aim in the world. I think we're gonna do good, and I'm confident in him.
And Focus, what has Thomas taught you?
Experience. I've learned a lot from him. There's too much to tell.
There's so much to tell. I mean, he has so much experience. Have you learned anything from Focus, Thomas?
Yeah, he's new and overcome talent. He's so good right now, one of the best players in the world, so yeah.
Well, let's see how you do as we drop into the first game. Right now, though, we've got to head over to 11-2K with Acorn and Bolts.
Thank you very much, Frankie. Look, I'm here with potentially NA's last goal. Acorn, you're back on this stage. A lot of people had some criticism of your Globals performance last year. People thought you should have done better than you did. Are you feeling the pressure this weekend?
What are diamonds made of? Oh, shoot.
Oh, I know what you're doing.
But no, in all seriousness, no, I'm not feeling the pressure. You know, it feels like I'm playing at home. I'm ready to win. I'm ready to go.
Of course. There's some rumors that you might be contested. Someone might land on you. Of course, you've been doing this IGLing thing for a long time. Are you prepared for that?
Of course, bro. Always.
It's going to happen if they land on you.
Oh, you're going to see. 50.
Bolts, it feels like people keep doubting you guys. It feels like you guys fly under the radar. Why do you think that happens, even with how talented you are?
You know, I think they underestimate Acorn. He's really the best IGL in the world. I'm one of the best fighters in the world, and we always show up when it matters. Acorn, he's always IGLing the perfect rotates. Me, I'm always finding the best refreshes, and you know, we always get that win.
I'm looking forward to it, guys. No pressure. I got this. Frankie, who you got on your side of the stage?
I have got iDrop and I've
Hoe
got
hoe is dat gewoon in boetje?
talk to you guys.
Het is toch een kwartier.
iDrop, first of all, you're being contested by Falco and Minute over at Frigid Fortress today. Have you been practicing your off spawns?
Of course, we practice as much as we can, and we're just very confident going into it.
What's the strongest part of
Niet
your game
weer.
right now?
I'd say fighting. Like, we're just crazy at fighting, both of us.
So in other words, you're quite up for an off spawn battle.
Yeah, of course, always.
And I have to talk to you because, Marius, look at your fans. The Gentlemates have turned up. Have you got anything to say to them?
Yeah, I appreciate the love, and I love you too.
Now, it hasn't been the most difficult journey on the way here. Some inconsistent results in the Div Cup. Does LAN make a difference, though? Does it help you even stay consistent knowing you have fans who are supporting you?
Yeah, 100%. It's a big difference because online people, they have a better pickup.
Well, I can't wait to see what you guys do, so please get ready, because we've got to get ready on stage for some more duos.
Maar al die dikzak man kan krachten man. Right. Ritual is ook echt een raar guy man. Kijk hoe eruit ziet. Vino. Ze de top 10 vandaag. Stop met die jam tracks, bro. Je hoort dat niet gemute. Deze guys ken ik niet. Flicks en Hicks.
Aegis and Ritual, you were one of the most consistent duos in NA Central. Do you think people are sleeping on you coming into this competition?
Maybe because we're contested, but I think that they know we'll pull through in the end and just get ready for a show.
How are you able to stay so consistent even when you're contested?
I think we're really good at playing when we're shambles, and we're able to make it happen whenever.
Now, I know that you've got a bit of a friendly rivalry going on with Rapid and Cold. Does that mean that you potentially might surprise meet up with them at some point during the day?
Nah, I don't think so.
But do you want to see a North American duo come out at top this weekend?
Yeah, I want NA to win no matter what. Hopefully it's us.
Well, it might be you guys, or it might be an Australian NA duo, because Levin is with Muzz and Sphinx.
Yes, I am. I'm here with two lovely gentlemen who are going to be doing their best today in a potentially uncomfortable situation. I just want to start off with you, Muzz. You're looking good, man.
Thank you.
What's been going on?
I did manage to lose 33 kilos since the last LAN event.
Shout out to Muzz, man. What a legend. Sphinx, there's a lot of teams landing at Humble Hills. What is the game plan for today?
I mean, bro, the game plan is just to show them who they're all of them. I don't even care. Nathan, I don't even know who you are. Never heard of you before this LAN. Falcons, Gerald. Just go back to OC, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
You came out with a bow and arrow. You pointing at them?
Yes, sir.
After the Osborne part of the game, you guys have been very consistent in NA. Are you worried about any of the potential teams in this lobby? What is the plan after that?
I don't think so. I think our mid games, like, they're sound. I don't think anyone can, like, mess with it, change it. I think we're good to go.
Maz, it feels like no matter what you do in Fortnite, people still just seem to underrate you. They don't give you the credit you deserve. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think it's just because recently I've only been performing good in grand finals for like the last 12 months. So that's why, for sure.
Are they going to find out today?
Hopefully.
Let's see it. Frankie, over to you.
I am with Cami and Hari. Cami, does this LAN feel any different to the LANs you've played before?
No, it feels really normal like every time. I think we're gonna do good like always.
And I think you might do good, given the experience you have and the duo you have in Hari. How do you feel like the chemistry is working between you two in game right now?
Yeah, I think it's really good chemistry. I think it's really good.
And you're uncontested at the moment. Is that playing into your game plan? Is that what you prefer, to be somewhere safe as opposed to being somewhere that maybe has the best loot?
I mean, it's always good to be uncontested, so yeah, we'll try to make the best out of it.
Yeah, and I can imagine you will. I think that we're going to let you guys get back into the lobby and get ready to go, because, guys, we've got to bring out more duos.
Gaan we weer. Shark en Teeny.
Stepping up, it's Cole and Madden. Their gameplay, it's nerves of steel, but can they keep it up here at Summit?
Coming out of OCE, it's Faison and Gerald. Let the David versus Goliath story begin. They'll have their work cut out for them for sure.
Say hello to Reed and Cooper.
Controle spelen.
Put on a show, so let's see what you got.
It's OCE's top dog, Alex and Reckless, the undisputed best on OCE. But it's time to test their skills against the world.
Zien we Pablo Wingo. Oha. Uniforme staan kankers erbij. Yuma en Toyota. Beste team van Asia.
We have got a player here who is currently regarded as one of the best in the world, and he's also one of the youngest here. Shark, do you mind turning around for me so everyone can hear and see you answering this question? Because you actually reached out to Teeny last year to play with him, is that right?
Yeah.
And why was it Teeny you wanted to play with?
I wanted to play him for like so many years because I just like the playstyle that he's playing.
And you used to watch him before you went pro?
Yeah.
Teeny, what was your reaction when Shark, I guess an up-and-coming player at the time, reached out to you and said he wanted you as his duo?
I mean, I was looking for duo at that time, so yeah, it's great.
And did it surprise you how well it worked?
Not really.
Not really. So tell me about Wonky Land today. We think the clicks might be landing on you. What are you going to do if he does? Just eliminate him. It's as simple as that, I think, Levin.
Sometimes it really is that simple, Frankie. Look, I'm here with Cooper and Reed. And boys, it's not the best of situations to be in, right? You're fighting off spawn against, you know, two of the best players in NA. What is the plan today, Reek, against those guys?
Honestly, it just depends how it goes. See what happens off spawn. You know, recently we've been splitted in some tournaments leading up to this, and I guess we'll just play it by ear. If we get some good loot, might run them down. If not, we'll see what happens.
If you do split it, but the games ain't going how you want them to go, is there a chance you just stop splitting it?
Oh yeah, if we're doing bad and they're doing good, there's zero chance we'll let them qualify. Come on.
I like the thought process. Cooper, you know what it means to win on a stage like this. You've done it before a couple years back. What's changed about you as a player? Where have you gotten better over the years that helps you today?
I mean, I've gained a lot more confidence since then, for sure. I've struggled with consistency. You know, it's my first time being contested on LAN. I'm going in here with nothing to lose, so I'm going to let everything out, and I'm going to do the best we can.
Reek sort of said it. You guys have been fighting them a lot. Like, you've had a lot of practice against them. What do you think their weakness is?
I think their weakness is, I mean, they're just trying to split it too much. Like, I feel like we're just going to get our games griefed if we just keep splitting it, so I hope they bring the fight to us because we're ready for it.
I like the sound of that. Look, Frankie, I know you've got some great Danes on your stage. What do they have to say?
I do have great Danes. We've got Pablo and Chino. And boys, you are one of the favorites in this competition. You just exploded in Major 1. There were some questions at the start of the season, so how did you up your game?
Just work hard and yeah, just don't give up. Just try to fix all the mistakes.
And it looks like you've done that really well. However, it's going to be difficult today at Sandy Strip because you've got Canada and Mini PO's duos also landing near you. What's the plan?
I mean, there's not really a plan. I mean, we're just gonna do whatever like comes to mind, and we're gonna dominate this.
Pablo, people are saying that Chino is the top 3 clutcher in the world. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And what about yourself?
I'm also up there.
You're also up there. Top 1, maybe 2, maybe 3. We know that these guys have got each other's backs. Let's bring out our final teams.
Sky and Scroll.
South America's #1 duo, Gone and Night. Having dominated Brazil, they're now here to play with no regrets.
Welcome aboard, Javi and a finish. The competition is fierce, but their willpower is relentless. It's time to give it your all.
Cocoon and Mini Pio, a last game win at FNCS was the clutch they needed to make it to the summit. But can they
Dit teamland is in Sandy. Twee dikzakken hier.
Drop spots, but the plan remains the same. Global domination.
Watch out for Hamad and Controller. They may have been second in Middle East FNCS, but now they're here to showcase their strength.
Call to home field advantage.
No een reason.
Can they ride that momentum all the way to the top?
With me from the Middle East, our #1 representatives, we have FKS and we have Hero. And this is your 5th FNCS LAN, FKS. I think that makes you the most successful Middle East player in Fortnite history. What's it like to be back?
I mean, I'm so excited to be here and hope that I can win the tournament.
Do you think that this is the best we're going to see a Middle Eastern team do today?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Do you think this is the best we're going to see an ME team place this weekend in a LAN?
Of course, I mean, we're ready.
I think you are, and Hero, we know that the skill gap is now closing because normally you guys win by hundreds of points in your region. This time, though, you had some competition, but that's a good thing, right? Because it means you get to practice more.
Yeah, Middle East is improving and we're ready to compete against the world and be in the top of the world.
I can't wait to see you try. Okay, now, Germany, I think Levin has got a treat for you.
We got the fan favorites. Everybody make some noise for Noah and Rita! Boy, oh boy, Noah. There are a lot of players on this stage who grew up watching you, trying to be like you. Does that influence you have? What does it prove? What does it show? What does it mean to you today?
I mean, it just makes me happy. I mean, we're both old, but we still got it. You know me?
Absolutely, absolutely. Reason, everybody's supporting you out here, man. I saw someone who had a sign of your face somewhere out there. We got people representing you all over the building. What does it mean to have the fans here in full support of you?
It honestly means everything. It was always a dream of mine, and I thank every of the players here as well, so I thank you all.
Of course, you have a lot to do today in-game. How do you stay ready? How do you stay prepared to be at your very best?
I mean, first of all, we prepped a lot, but of course, I played the Reason 1v1 build fight map a lot. Best 1v1 map, make sure to check that out, and yeah, that's how we prepped.
Make sure you check that out. Noah, you're playing with someone who you played with a lot. Do you feel like that experience
This guy's niet 100 man,
over
voilà.
the years helped you in the lobby today?
This guy's
Yeah, we got really
100.
good chemistry, so like we always just find each other in endgame and well.
Hey, I'm gonna hope you guys do incredibly well. I'm not gonna lie though, guys, it's the stage is getting a bit chilly up here. What's going on, Frankie?
Well, I'm standing next to Cold and Rapid. That's what's going on, Levin. Cold, I think you've got the best player photo of all the walkouts. Can you just replicate that for me, please? Oh, yeah, and that's how you're feeling right now, right? Super chill?
I feel amazing. I'm ready to, take down the competition and show you guys what I do.
Even though you're contested?
Of course, those guys are horrible. You guys are gonna see.
Okay, we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on 4 field. Rapid, sometimes people are saying that this man, he doesn't practice, but that's not true, right?
No, that's not true. He plays a lot.
So what have you been working on the most going into this LAN?
Wait, say that again?
What have you been working on the most going into this competition?
Definitely our end game and our chemistry.
And what was up with the end game?
Druids weren't staying together, but now we fixed it.
Okay, so there's not going to be any solo clutching. You're always going to be the 2 in the 2v1 situation, Cold.
Yes, sir.
And who is your biggest competition here on LAN before I let you go? Who have you got your eyes on?
Nobody.
Keep your eyes on these 2 desks.
I mean, Fortnite fam, how can you not be hyped seeing this? I mean, all these players come out. This is the upper bracket. This is so insane. I mean, you heard duos coming out, getting the reactions from the fans. It is electric here. I mean, man, I feel a vivid. As I kind of start to think back to the game, right? As I focus in on like having a good time, like, wait a minute, the game feels like there's one thing that's super important. It's having a game plan.
Yeah, absolutely. And it feels like everybody up there on the stage has a game plan, because we kind of talked about the qualification process for this LAN. We talked about how everybody had to place well to get here, and I feel like it's kind of showing in all of those interviews. Like, it's just confidence after confidence after confidence. But speaking of game plans, man, yeah, it definitely does kind of change when you do change up the format, right? We have a 3-day format, but the lobby is never going to look the same in each and every single one of these days. So I feel like in terms of preparation, right, day 1 duos are going to be feeling so good, because they have to just straight up prepare for whatever lobby they have set forth in front of them, where we can't really see those, day 2 duos kind of pop up, right? If we take a look at how Veno and Curve actually won their FNCS on the NAC region, dude, they were 10th going into day number 2, and then they ended up winning, right? But that's on the back foot of Veno just doing all of that preparation in between. We don't have the opportunity to do something like that here.
It's interesting that you say that, though, because at the same time, you have duos already in the lower bracket just waiting to see who their 25 competitors are going to be. As a reminder, the top 25 do go to Sunday, but the bottom 25 play again tomorrow. There's already kind of drop maps getting formed, ideas of where duos might be dropping, but it all depends on how today plays out.
Absolutely, and of course, so many other
Let's
duos
go.
that we're seeing. I mean, Janice is looking fantastic. And I mean, you guys heard him for a moment. Obviously, we're in Germany. Lev got to talk to him. Noah, Reason. There is so much hype being in this environment. I can't wait.
It's definitely going to be cool, and you can take a quick little peek right there. The preparation definitely comes in. Saw all of the players kind of setting up their setups earlier on, making sure that they had their drop maps, prepared for that. Obviously, it just kind of speaks to how important, how vital they feel like, the all-spawn situation are, how they need to feel comfortable that they are going to land first and have a big advantage, because, these players were kind of allotted one single piece of player each to kind of bring with them on stage, and almost every single one of them, it feels like they dedicated it to the other game.
Yeah, they have the drop map. They have it right in front of them. The thing I'm thinking is, you know, we had the practice matches, but you don't want to leak your strats in a practice match when the real deal is happening tomorrow. So now today, I'm curious to see how these kind of game plans unfold. Will we actually see Clix contest Peterbot? Will we see Sky Scroll to the same strat? Only time will tell.
Well, time it is, because guess what, Fortnite fam? It is that time. Game number 1 is ready, so let's kick it on over to the casters. It's Jacob PR and the best taco.
We are here. This is the moment we've been waiting months for. The Major 1 Summit LAN from 75 teams from across the world are not only battling out for over $1 million in prize money, but the top 15 spots go to the Global Championship.
The way I see it, Jacob, today is basically bonus Fortnite Nation, and I am all for it, okay? Because we know we got game 1 ready.
Let's go. Game in. We dachten wel eten. Let's go, bro.
Just like that, Dusseldorf, our first opportunity to really gather what is actually going to pan out here across the minimap. Jacob, we've heard so many rumors, we've seen so many shakeups, and yet here today, it's time to figure it all out.
Yeah, for months you've heard Clix and Higgs, Peterbot, Poyo, the rivalry for so long. They said, no, we're going over towards Friendly Shores. Clix is claiming, hey, we've had enough of going against Peterbot and Poyo on their terms. Now it is our terms. It's now going to be under their own conditions, but we've also seen, we heard our analysts talk about it as well, in some of those practice games, Clix and Higgs actually went back to Wonky Land, and we're seeing it again. Clix and Higgs are going back to the drop spot. They know the best.
Ja, dit was om te verwachten dat ze naar Wonky Land gingen.
They're still gonna have to contend with some other opponents because now you're on home turf, but check it out, Sharktini more than expectant of this shakeup, and that is why they've already been sure to prepare for it. Darman Devish as well, just off in the distance over towards Toy Box Docks. It's going to get very rocky very soon for some of these teams, though.
Yeah, and you can already see Shark and Teeny, Clix and Higgs. For the most part, it seems like they're going to split it. But Clix and Higgs, they're fast right out of the gates. They're pushing on over to the north side of Wonky, taking that loot, and eventually will fall back. But there's contested fights all over here in Game 1. Sandy Strip, another one in the feed. I did see Mini Prio go down. It wasn't Gino, wasn't Havoc here with Pablo Wingoose. You gotta imagine, where else did they drop? Because they're not in the mini-map.
But Chino and Pablo, though, they
Flexie's al knocked.
all that minding of it. They're more than content to just keep gathering whatever they can find here at Sandy Strip. They know that there's bound to be a bit of a clash eventually with Victor V and Kanata, but it's no real surprise to see that everywhere else it's not so sweet. Chap trying to escape over by New Sanctuary. Things have gone awry because Flixie, he's already been knocked, so now Chap has to play for the recovery.
Yeah, they're already kind of searching where that actual
Bij fiets aanpassen. Hallo.
Flixie on top of the mountain. He did get it down onto Romero. You can see him battling in another 2v1 situation.
Oha.
He wins the fight.
Oha.
That wasn't just enough. That was a full wipe.
Oha, die was wel clean. Oh, dit is dit ook visualize sound effects. Dit weer even uit. Is veel beter. Je hebt die hele tijd voetstappen in je beeld. Is goed zo.
They're waiting, they're trying to make the approach. They've sniffed out this little bit of a lurk opportunity here. Shark gonna make sure to try and close the distance. Wants to ensure that he can back up Teeny if necessary. Overdrive grenade just to get a little bit of the movement effects here, but they've still yet to really tango. And Shark trying to push Higgs back. Clix a little bit separated, but he's still got the high ground leverage.
Niks en niks tegen Shark en Teeny.
You can even see from underneath Teeny trying to join the mix, but there's a little bit of a health advantage here for Clix and Higgs, and right now it looks like they are trying to be the aggressors in this fight. We've talked almost all morning long. Will they split it? Where will Clix and Higgs go? They're going back to Wonky Land, and they're hoping to wipe out Shark and Teeny. And right now, down below, Shark and Teeny, relatively healthy, but a couple of missing item slots and really, really low on materials.
And you just know that this is more than just a drop spot on the
Wie gaat deze winnen? 2v2. Wie gaat deze winnen?
be taking place here today, but both of these duos, all they realistically need, 1-2 solid lobbies out of our 6 games matchup.
Yep, the longer this one goes, right now they're lucky they're fighting inside of the house, but Acorn and Bolts towards the north, Darman Demas, that contested fight of Minute, Sauco, I Drop Marius, they can all eventually look on over to try the third party, but Taco, the EU, FNCS champs, Sky and Scroll, you probably know them just a little bit more than I do, but I just remember a few years ago, these guys just kind of showing up on the map, the top of the leaderboard, people didn't believe in them, but man, has every tune changed this weekend.
We'll get a chance to check back in with them shortly, because right now it's all about what Cole's been cooking, and right now it's Minifio on the ropes. Cole going to immediately take over. Just
Die was wel clean.
him up and finds that first
Kan hij niet.
elimination here. Really trying to get some momentum building, and Cole, he said it himself in that pre-game interview, Jacob. He's ready to show what he can do.
No fear at all, but wait a minute, we heard the talk. Are you gonna contest us? We figured out as the game's going on, no. But Peterbot and Poyo are slowly making their way up towards the north. We've seen this in divisional cups. They're looking for eliminations here, and they did get that mythic AR, so Peterbot is gonna be able to shred through these materials. They already got a knock and elimination onto Toyota as well, which is why you see Yuma by himself in this situation.
Yeah, and poor Yuma, he's just hoping that Darkness by fingers.
Oha. Pro is geshit. Pro is geshit. Lekker voor hem.
To make a decision now, bail out for the reboot, but he might be stuck in the middle because everybody in the vicinity saw that elimination light up in the feed, and now Yuma, he might have just bought himself so much more time because other parties, they're looking to intervene. Poyo with his back against the wall, trying to figure out where he can escape to.
Yeah, the only saving grace he has now is multiple teams look to third and fourth party in this situation. So the two solos, Yuma and Poyo, have a little bit of an opportunity to try to escape. But what they're waiting for here is for the two duos to actually start to fight it out. Until that happens, Taco, they really have little control over their game. Because if they try to move out too early, either one of those duos will spot them out as a solo and try to play aggressive.
All I can think about is what took place at Globals, Jacob. When we saw Peterbot in that game one, he made the aggressive effort against Victor V, got put down, and it definitely made a serious impact for the rest of those matches. Will that happen here today? Is he reliving the past moments? But only Poyo can really save him in this one.
Yeah, and you got a huge shout out to Asia Yuma. That is not an easy elimination there. That's not an easy player to take down, especially when you had already lost Toyota. You're by yourself, back up against the wall. If Yuma went down, he's spending 20 or so minutes watching his screen, trying to figure out what happened. But big boys make big boy plays, and Yuma is looking to stay alive.
I like this, though. Definitely a bit of a 180 from some of the action taking place a little bit northwest of where Acorn and Bolts are at. But Acorn, always regarded as such a strong IGL, and I'm very excited to see what exactly he's been stratting out, because every single one of these teams here today has just been anticipating some kind of bamboozlement. Nobody feels safe, nobody feels secure in their original strategies. You've got the counter strat for the counter strat for the counter strat, and now we get to see it all come to fruition.
Yep, now looking at Swizzy and Pixie. An interesting moment coming into this.
Ja, ik ben aan niks.
Knowing he has a global champion.
Mijn oogspel is gewoon kut tegenwoordig. Tja.
Don't see too many when it's uncontested players leave Dark Dominion early. They build this surge base here. Swizzy's going to be responsible for a lot of their early game damage. Meanwhile, Pixie, he's farming up extra materials, extra heals, so that way if they have to overstay their welcome in the zone.
Deze dag bedoel je? Want vandaag vliegt er nog niemand uit, maar de huispool is wel massive.
Moment that he begins to glide down, but kind of reflecting back, I think that's where he is really going to have to reconsider when to hit the brakes. I understand you get that isolation, you put Yuma into a position where it should realistically just be a clean wipeout, but that's just not going to be the case. Nothing here is guaranteed. All of these teams had to fight their way to this competition.
Yeah, and it seems like it's not only Peterbot faced with early game trouble. You see Veno gliding down, you see the gray pistol in his inventory, so he just got rebooted as well. So not only we have one of the greats all time, but we have the current current NA FNC as champions with a few early game struggles. But at least Taco, they got the reboots back. The only big question for them is what is it going to be when Storm Surge pops?
Only time will tell. No Riley and Reason though.
Nee, dat sprak heb ik niet. Minecraft is Fortnite.
They don't actually have to enter an exchange with Pablo or Yepko and Panzer, but the tides could change very soon.
Yeah, as long as they have enough gold, they already have control over the vending machine towards Sandy's Strip, so when it comes to the zone, it's not necessarily going to be a worry for the next two. Vico and Malibuca quick to rotate, though. We know they're landing over towards that Frigid Fortress, the actual main POI, so they're going to get majority of that loot. But instead of staying up there and getting early game surge on players like iDrop, Marius, Minute South for the contested fight, even Noah Riley and Reason,
Ik heb geen earnings, man.
rotated towards the south early.
Dat is 60 fps op de PlayStation. Dus dan krijg je, dat is niet makkelijk.
Extra movement abilities. Vico's got no reason to be nervous though. He's just got to remember who
En
he
30 ping.
is, and it's crazy to think about that they've sort of slid under the radar as a team favorite. I think that there's just so many stars making appearances here at this global level competition, Jacob, that it can be easy to kind of have a handful fall out of that spotlight, but they're starting to build their way back in. Same mentality for Reet and Cooper too, side by side. Brilliant and Jargu getting a little bit more caught up than they would like to.
On the other side, big damage. Krillian to Jargu, a little bit of the bait and switch. You distract him on one side, I'll get the wall and the elimination on the other. Mini Pio, I think, making the right decision. Why stay when you're weak, all ready to try to fight a disadvantage 2v2? He immediately tried to rotate on over, saying, hey, I know we're not going to be working together from now, but I'm going to come back for your reboot card later.
Rank, Battle Royale en Rail. Dat is gewoon vrij, er zit echt veel bots in. En een reload ben ik nu elite. Maar ik haat reload, ik zeg ook alles. Vooral de lootpool nu, een reload is echt gewoon vreselijk. De meest vreselijke lootpool sinds heel reload gewoon. Vind ik. Dat was een ander kanaal waarschijnlijk, ja. Fawaka.
Ewa.
Ja,
ben je alleen nog?
Nee, ik kan alleen maar public volgens mij.
Oh.
Maar ik ben aan het kijken, ja.
Oké.
Wacht, ik even iets aan de geluid aanpassen. Wacht.
Ja, is goed. Ja, request join gewoon Jaden.
Zeg eens iets. Ah, wacht, tyfus. Zeg eens iets. Maar Piet dan meer vies de put. Oh, bro is dood. Maar net niet.
Dat is verhaal.
Ik zal even lieven.
Nee.
Mijn eten is net klaar. Kijk wat hij doet. What the fuck. Ayek.
Ben zo terug.
Mijn eten is klaar, man. Oh, bro heeft nog die elimination met 3 AP, hoe dan? Ik speel wel Cash Cups. Maar ja, voor PlayStation spelers is dat wel heel moeilijk. Ja, doe maar. Maar ik ga nu eten, man. Ik heb AFK in die lobby staan. Of alhoewel, nee, ik laat het gewoon zo staan eigenlijk. Eten duurt niet zo lang. Even dat geluid af.
One elimination and all that mess.
Even
Yeah, you
out.
don't necessarily see where the other teams or players are at in terms of that Storm Surge leaderboard. But if you're a team like Minori and Darkos, you're above that damage threshold deep in the zone, and a team is just trying to bulldoze into your box, that is a huge red flag. And they played that one perfectly. As we rotate out of Dark Dominion, you see players rotate through the top, but right here, Menno and Curve knowing the map perfectly. They go right underneath and they try to take those tunnels. Tunnels can be dangerous, though. You have to remember, there's usually going to be at least a solo, possibly even a duo trying to camp these out. It's an affair that Swizzy and Pixie are all too familiar with, and I'm sure Benno has definitely been strategizing, definitely been trying to factor in every single possibility, but as the zone closes in, as some of these teams get more and more desperate.
Gaan wij even vast ook een potje doen en komen wij dadelijk bij jou.
They need damage. They're only 28 below. They're trying to see if they can apply some pressure to look like Chap and Flixie, but they're still sitting just underneath that threshold. A singular tag would do it, but will they be able to find it?
Ja, dan komt waarschijnlijk dat iemand zijn Minecraft aan heeft staan. Ik kan op je aanzetten.
As it continues to pull towards the north, are below or on the line when it comes to that damage threshold. 1 second you see Night and Gone, they're 1 damage above, but in that split second they fall below. 25 damage. Flixie, Chap, they're in that same boat. They had an early game fight, and this is the struggles you deal with after, whether you're above or below. There's not a bunch of confidence with single-digit numbers, and that's why Flixie and Chap, they also need loot. This is just one tough situation to get out of. Flixie's gonna get dropped.
Ja, maar ja.
Just continues, and Chap falls as well.
Alleen ik kan niks opzetten.
He's got Twy coming in behind him, but now
Voor mij
looks to be a solo
ik kan niks aanzetten.
They gotta deal with Peterbot, who's now the solo. The reboot has been a success up until this stage, Jacob. Now Pete from 6 zone onwards has to try and fare as a solo. And with so many other teams already looking at it, will he even get a chance to touch down? Just barely, but even then, only 2 overdrive grenades, a sliver of materials. He's running through his build so rapidly, he doesn't have a chance to breathe.
Yeah, basically needs a full elimination here, worth of damage, no extra heals, and you can see his material count so low.
7 dagen, dus ik ben sowieso weer de live fan.
That is a second chance at life that does not last long. Peterbot and Poyo go down.
Misschien volgende weekend.
That was exactly what Benno and Curve were waiting on. Benno loves to make that approach.
Morgen ken ik je. Morgen komen maten voor mij lang. Ik kan waarschijnlijk alleen zondag doen.
And they're still looking to see what else they can get away with here. Gonna pick up that leftover Chug, decent amount of builds to work with too, but Reason, Riley, looking to try and get a little bit more of that high ground basing, slight clip base. Malabuka and Vico also in a rather isolated position.
Ja, ik denk het wel.
Who's going to expose themselves first, though?
Ja, FIFA heb ik de laatste keer gespeeld. Dus daar ga ik niet nog weer spelen. Ik vind FIFA niet zo heel belangrijk om te spelen, eerlijk gezegd. Het is leuk om even een keertje te doen, maar niet voor elke keer. FIFA is echt gewoon dood.
It's insane though just how quickly that surge threshold can turn against you. And Pablo Chino, they're still sitting at just 75 below, but when they base all the way up towards the high ground, they'll have a better opportunity to try and scope things out. But Clicks, Higgs, they're looking to make the jump, they're looking to go up. They want to see if they can take over, and they'll at least force Chino and Pablo back for a moment. But
Oh, dat is Royal, ja.
topsy-turvy upside down because Camby and Adi from across the way, Chino looking to take everybody out, but Clicks, he's still got the ball rolling here. Chino has fallen. Higgs with the elimination, but Pablo has a solo. What can he do from here?
Maar echt, dat ze moeten die roze ping uit Fortnite halen, jongen. Dat zie je gewoon bijna niet. Die roze ping.
Ja, heb ik niet de roze ping? Ja, ik heb de roze ping.
Ja. Eén vliegt met mij gewoon letterlijk mee.
Wacht, nu...
Kan misschien naar de Dutch, als het tijd. Nee, het kan niet. Jammer.
Clicks and
Ja, ik ga
Hicks, they'll
kijken
opt
naar
for
iets.
frontside low ground instead. They know that
Maar
they
Dennis,
have
is het
the
ook
high
zo
ground
warm in
temporarily, but
Nederland?
Cammy Hottie, they got to reestablish. Malabuka lost Vico along the way though, and just underneath them, Ritual Agers, they will get a chance to take shots. Malabuka
Wacht
boxing up, but
even.
only hard match left, and they are going to be
Dood.
spent at a cost here. Cold and
Nog één dood.
seemingly pinpointed this solo operation.
Oh, and Malabuka's daring.
Ja,
He tries to
maar
go ahead and get
Nog één
aggressive on
dood.
the Cold and Rapid. Saw that one coming, immediately answered defensively, and now they're peeking over the top.
Ja,
Do we have high ground? Is it worth it to
Lekker,
invest?
bro.
I think it is yes, or at least for now, but you got to be careful. Agers, Ritual,
Ja.
they're in the rings waiting to try to, for a moment like that, to strike on the high ground. Clicks and Higgs, they
Ah,
lost
oké.
it because of the builds. They had no more. They were forced down below.
Oh,
And
ik
look at the
oh,
spot
schrik
they're in
me.
now.
They just spent so much material when they were challenging Chino and Pablo, not realizing
Dus ik
the
ga even
kind
kijken
of
om...
disaster that Cammy and Hottie were actually causing
Ja, maar dat
against them. And
kon
Higgs,
Kimmy
Blix,
niet goed.
they've now been eliminated from the lobby. Hottie, Cammy though, can they make the
Hey,
shield
Lars,
rotation? They're forced to
maatje.
continue dropping, but there's already teams at the bottom of the hill, and Pablo is going to be the next to fall.
That's another solo
Oh nee, ik
player
heb tegen een
out. That's placement
andere.
points going in. Agers is knocked. Ritual realized I can't be the hero. He's just trying to stay in the zone long
Onze
enough to try to
bloembollen.
get the materials, but I don't think he had the chance. Fox is going to get that elimination. Noah Wiley trying to do the same thing. The last of the heals though as the Chug runs out, but they're still running outside of zone. That elimination on
Een hele squad was hier buitenland. Dus wel. Ja, volgens mij wel.
back into the zone with Reed and Cooper. But Cooper
Maar er zijn ook
Oh,
mensen
lekker
die...
appelkanen. Oh.
This is only Noah Riley there to take him out, no problem.
Oké. Zo ken ik wel weer.
Maar het kan toch
Oh
niet
ja,
zijn
die
dat
staat
alle
bouwen.
mensen nu al weg zijn? Het kan toch niet zijn dat alle mensen nu al weg zijn van hier?
Down below, Cold and Rapid also continuing to apply so much steady pressure. They've got the flow Remus grenades if they need them. And Acorn, unfortunately, he's got to do it all his own.
Yeah, and at this stage of the game, top 8, you got 5 players running around as solo.
Ah,
At least
ja,
half the placement points.
Dat moet je zelf doen, bro.
This is the stage of the game where you really become a difference maker. As Garm picks up that elimination on a Minori,
Ja,
picks
deze kan ik ook wel
his
mee.
heals. He's just trying to scrape together any extra
het lijkt
placement.
me.
Maybe a re-shot from the backside of the box. Hero.
Ik blijf wel even bij Kimmy. hoor. Dus, weet je, even plassen.
Ja. Maar ik ben nog met looten. Ja, kom.
Heel man.
They hopped in the box and took him down with ease. We know Cold and Rapid all around high ground. Yakko, Panzer, they're on below. Hero is still in the backside of the zone. He's disrupting everything until he eventually falls. Yakko and Panzer, they do get the elimination. They make a desperate attempt to go outside of the zone and pick up the materials.
Zijn jullie alweer aan het killen, boys?
They are. They're dropping down from above. They're trying to
Oh, nee,
get the
toch
win
niet.
condition attack, but he gets sent flying up. Rapid blocks it with a ram. Cold gets the down. 2v1 situation here. Panzer, Cold, they trade shots.
Eentje dood.
Will not go down without a fight.
Kijk,
They win game 1 with ease.
Ja, dat is goed. Hier bij mij.
Kom.
Correct. Dood.
Ja, ik
Dood. Oh my days.
Masterclass in the high ground. Stand up so Dusseldorf can see you.
Lekker man.
Cold, how did you know that the time was right to take height?
I mean, that's
Right,
all
my
right.
bad.
You know, this is what he does. You know, he's the best IG on the world, and he showed it right there.
So all you needed to do was listen. So Rapid, how did you make that call?
Makla, descent height. That might have been the easiest lobby ever.
Dennis, maar heb je het ook echt warm in Nederland of is het zoals dat daar niet is?
Het is hier niet om uit te houden, ik zweer.
Ja,
Yeah, nothing they could do.
hier in België
Nothing
ook.
they could do.
Ja, ik kan niet pas, je hebt die auto, bro.
You're
hè.
up against
Stel.
Yakko and Panzer in that 2v2 situation. Who's making the call to go upwards and try and get that shot?
Ja, ik heb hem gewoon
Because
eens
you
komt
were
op.
flying,
Ik heb nog wel een shockwave, die kan eruit.
It was kind of both of our calls.
Wee!
You know, like, we knew that we needed the kill points.
Hier in
and
België
that's
is
exactly
ook
what we
hier
did.
in,
You got
het is hier
so
in
many
België echt gewoon niet
eliminations
te doen voor je
in that
meten.
game. So from
Nee,
here
man.
onwards,
Ja,
5
hier
more
net zo
games
goed
to
doen.
make it out of the upper bracket. You're not going to play it safe, are
Ik
you?
zweer, het is gewoon veel steeds.
I can't wait
Ja,
to
man.
see
Om
even
meer
more
te doen voor jullie,
eliminations
of
from you
niet?
guys. Do you own the high ground now? Do you own it?
Of course, I own every kind of ground.
Oh,
Well,
moet
these
ik
guys,
loten.
they found that victory royale a little bit too
Waar
easy.
ligt dat
So
boven?
let's see if any
Oh,
of
dat
the
is
duos can
die,
make it tricky after the break.
ik moet even die shotgun super verder moet ik even hebben. Ben ik klaar.
Hé, maar sorry als je met honden
Ik
wordt
vergeet
blaffen,
steeds
hè.
dat het bouwen is. What the fuck.
Maar sorry als je met honden wordt blaffen, hè. Ja.
Ja.
Hey, ik word hier even helemaal geboost.
Ik hoef alleen nog maar steen, ben ik al klaar. Mooi joh. Ik heb best leuk.
Wacht, ik ben even weg, ik op mijn honden gaan geplant. Ja. Ja, net.
We gaan deze stadje even... Ja, loot of iets, weet ik veel. Misschien zitten er wel mensen in. Misschien ook wel niet, maar ja. Even rondkoekeloeren. Ik heb wel een beetje lag, man.
Yo, jongens, sorry hiervoor, hè. Oh, mijn kat zit hier nu ook weer. Ja. Oh, ik ben juist op tijd voor de storm. Je dacht, maak niet op, hoe zit het? Of maak op.
Ik heb hier een pizza liggen ook. Oh, dit.
Ah ja, gaan we die race hier doen? Oh, een dikke kamera. Hé, Lars. Lars. Hè? Ja, ik heb verschrikkelijk stort gehad. Ik was eerst naar achteruit aan het gaan. Oh, pak je dan op? Pak je dan? Nou, je hebt dat. Oh, een groot pistool. Dat is wel dacht ik. Een pistool geval. Ik heb niks, ik heb iets gestolen. Weet mens. Ja, dat is mijn
mensen.
Kom op, Dennis. Jezus, jongen. Man, eerst zit je met kussen en dan... Oete, kom. Ga je nu weer recht voor mijn zicht loopt nog wel.
Eentje dood.
Wacht. Ja, joh. Het is niet meer de moeite dat komt.
Nog één dood. Dood.
That's crazy. The weather change here in Germany.
En er zitten nog meer, daar, mensen. Nog meer.
That's right. It happened. I cannot believe
even al mijn
this just
goals
happened. Game number 1.
Er zitten hier nog meer mensen erbij.
Come out
Yeah,
swinging, man.
Whoa,
Big change in strategy too. Look up, it's like, what the heck?
Maar is het in de game zelf?
For
Of
anybody
is
that
dit
doesn't typically watch NA, man, usually you can find these guys
I don't know, bro.
low ground, kind of feeling comfortable down there. But you heard him after that game, they were like, yeah, man, we kind of just sent it.
Yeah, and he said it was free too, which is
What the fuck, hij zit
interesting.
klem
I
hier,
mean,
jongen.
if we looked before that, there were so many hype retakes. They just took it at that
Heren.
perfect moment, and I mean, they just playing it by the book after that. But not only
Right.
did they secure
Hoeveel
a
man
nice
nog
clean
in
win,
die
look
game?
at the amount of eliminations that Cloud is just picking up.
Kijken, 6.
Back, these AR shots do not miss.
Is net de lucht gekomen of zo?
You can see them continually
16.
picking up all
Maar wat is warm?
I mean, we were kind of jumping around from
Het
POV
is
to
tering
POV
heet,
when
jongen.
we were watching
Ja.
Height kind of get crazy.
Stap
Right? When we saw
van
like 4 different teams kind of find themselves up on the high
Dat is
ground over
echt
the course of,
normaal.
what was that, like 60
Ja.
seconds? The material counts for all of those teams were just so
Racistisch,
sampled that they
man.
had no chance to actually hold it for the rest of the game.
Ja.
So when you tune into a team like Cold and Rapid, and they are picking up those eliminations, they are picking up those
Zet daar
refreshes,
even
they're picking up those extra
een ding
materials.
aan.
They are in a
Daar,
healthy
bij dat ding.
enough spot
Zet
to
even het ding
actually
aan.
go for the high ground and hold it, and that is exactly what they did. Absolutely crazy stuff out of Cold and Rapid. Remember, we just
Het eerste game is net gedaan.
Secure ourselves a spot
Ah, oké.
in on Sunday
En
for
hoe was
finals.
het?
And after this game, I
Ik heb
feel
even op
like
mijn tele
we are
gekeken, want ik
looking
moest
really,
eten.
really good. I can't wait to see the standings as well
Ja,
because
Maar zit er nou Miss Savage bij dan? Of,
speelt morgen.
make sure we're keeping up in the top
met wie?
25, but seriously,
Velo.
Golden Rapid, what
Ah,
the
oké.
heck? I love the
Oh, ik dacht dat met z'n drieën ging, wat jij zei.
Nee, het is gewoon dat die elkaar gewoon niet ontmoeten.
Oké.
Het is niet dat ze met elkaar spelen, het is gewoon zo
Quick
de duels.
had a very good approach to that high ground. Like, oh my gosh, they're getting a free chop. They get the chop. The high ground team's kind of falling down. They had no match. They were just like that close from actually stealing away the high ground. But unfortunately, yeah, the lobby was like, well, no, we're not going to let that happen.
Not today.
Allebei zijn ze 1 op 1. Wat is er gebeurd?
Ja, maar ja, fall damage bestaat niet meer, maar dan wordt ze 1 AP, dat is zo stom.
Ja, dat is niet slim, hè. Hier ook nog een big manstation. Je gaat dadelijk weer.
Ja, ik ga hem neerschieten, jong. Kan mij niks boeien. Ik ga neerschieten. Echt waar.
Als ik gewoon eens dat potje afgelopen is, dan leef ik wel. Dus lobby is vol.
Wow.
Nog 2 teams, boys.
Ja, ik denk dat we dit kunnen winnen, man.
Calm, cold, collected is how this duo was feeling.
Eindelijk iets van Shield.
They were excited, but
Hoeveel kills hebben we eigenlijk? Ik heb er 8.
in the battle bus. I mean, it just looked like a normal
Wow,
day
yo.
for this
Hij nu weer Skybase,
we
man.
heard it in the
Maar ik snap echt
pre-game
niet wat je
interview,
doet.
and now closing it out. Look, there is one thing I do want to bring up here. Maybe it's not my EU
Maar
bias,
waar
I
zijn
promise.
die mensen ook,
Not my EU
bro?
bias, but all the top 3 teams that were
Ja, ik zit overal te kijken.
Ergens aan het stoppen, daar waren wij het weer niet
Maar ik hoor ook gewoon niemand schieten, letterlijk. Heel irritant.
Kom dan met mij, man. Echt waar. Wow, ik ga zo een keer kijken bij zo'n rifle ding, anders kunnen we zo'n rifle pakken. Dan ik start zo'n rifle en dan weten we het.
Ik weet ook echt niet waar die guys staan.
I mean, shout out to the 3 duos here, but you had Cold and Rapid, obviously, you know, full
Was
chilling
er
up on
gebeurd
the
zijn
high
of
ground. And then you
wel?
had Yapko and Panzer, one of the only 3 duos left, and the other duo that was kind of a
Kan iemand
once
niet
we
tegen
got
die
into the top 10
shout-zetten
was
of zo, die op de
But as
achtergrond
soon as
staan?
Yapko and Panzer kind of had an opportunity to take
Ik wil
it,
even
Serene
kijken,
Cooper on the
nee,
low
maar
ground. I'm
ja,
not
we
gonna
horen
lie,
ik
that
ook.
went so fast. Panzer and Yapko just hit some clean shots. Watch this kind of phase in right here.
Oh, dat is wel
Clean
bij je.
shots from both of them to go ahead and
Oh, nee.
secure the second place. And in the mix, we also see Hero off in the distance. Hold up, hold up, Hero. AX
Mensen onder ons.
Onder.
Die zitten hieronder.
They made the aggressive play, and it worked. I was getting a little nervous for Cold there when the initial shot from
Eén
Panzer
op één.
came through, but in the end, Cold Rapid did take the win. But hey, second place, kicking things off as a reminder, it is top 25 to move on to
Kom maar,
Sunday.
jongens.
So all of these teams we just saw
Ja,
are
lekker.
looking incredibly strong.
That's right.
Ja, nu
and
nog één
every
team.
single interaction
Nou,
is going to
als je
matter, right?
het
We only have 6 games to end in the top 25, and as you kind of called out,
Weet
we
je,
saw
hij ligt
Hero
ergens
from
Oh, ja, ik zie
in that
ik zie
majority
ze.
as a solo, mind you, in the
Ik
chaoticness
zie ze,
that
ik zie
is
ze.
this crazily stacked lobby. Hero shows
Ping.
up big and clutches.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be feeling good after a game like that for all of these
Zie
teams
je
that
nog?
picked up just
Bingo.
so many points.
Zie-
Be curious to do some math over the course of the day to kind of get some.
Maar mij nu niet opschieten nou op
Well,
een
top 25
godverdomme
will actually look like,
scheidwet.
but yeah, game 1 right here coming out of the gate swinging. It might just be
Het
the
is minder
only
een
game
vecht
some of these teams
op
really need to actually pick up enough points.
Ja,
Yeah,
ik
a
denk
lot
dat
of
ik
pressure
verloren
lifted
gast,
after
echt
that for
waar.
these teams
Absolutely.
that got not only top 3, even top 5. I know FKS Hero, they're
Ja,
happy
niet bij
they
mij ook,
switched to
hè.
South
Op,
London
op.
landing for
Echt
this
waar.
day. The
En
question
ik ben
is,
hier
I
met
mean,
1 AP.
FKS Hero aren't contested, but for example, Cold Rapid are. So now
Ja,
they have
zie
kind
je,
of that
man.
freedom,
Boom.
that lifted pressure to play a bit more
Scheidweg
aggressive.
van
I will
wat.
say though, Cold and Rapid were kind of expected, like you said, to be contested. I don't think they were
fuck
in that game.
hoor
They
ik?
did actually take advantage of some of the
Ja, joh.
contestation that's kind of going on.
Sippie.
towards the game. That's where they picked up some of their
En hij zei
early
hier,
LAN
hij zei
picked up some of
nadien
that
dat
early surge
jullie
that
een
they
max
could
en
kind
dik
of
zouden
snowball
in
into the end game. So keep an eye on the early game towards that way.
And I do just have to wonder, obviously this being the first game in this environment for many of these
Dat
teams,
daarnet heb ik
maybe
niet
it's their
eens
first time.
afgeschoten,
There's a
man.
lot of jitters, right? When you kind of get put in this situation, you're not at home in the comfort of your home, the comfort of your setup. You know, you don't have your shoes kicked off, you don't have your desk a certain way, right? Your monitors. This is a completely different
Ja,
environment. So,
onthoud,
you know, this
door
being
jou kunnen
game
de
number
potje niet
one.
verliezen. Hè. Ik had 1 guy al. Ik kon niet tegen pakken als ik nog helft had.
We can kick things off crazily, right?
Peterbot is fucking snel doodgegaan, bro.
Looking at in terms of the pressure, the nerves, perhaps, it's Shark and Teeny. They were contested at Wonky Land by Clicks and Higgs, and this is a team that they have what it takes. They've proven that they have what it takes, but I'm sensing a bit of that pressure. I'm sensing a bit of those LAN nerves. Now, the good news for Shark and Teeny is that they have all, you know, upper bracket to play out, get top 25, and then if they make it through, they have a whole other 8 matches to truly show what they're capable of.
Yeah, I mean, one of the big talking points
Broer, dat was
towards
wel een
Wonky
dikke
Lane was
glitchje
confidence
eigenlijk
levels. I mean,
even.
Clicks and Higgs, for whatever
Je bent
reason,
echt
played
veel
this long
verder.
game, kind of talking about, hey, we're not even going to be landing Wonky. And then boom,
Ja,
surprise,
ja,
they're here.
ja,
Now,
ja.
Shark and TD might be kind of
Nou, ik
caught
denk dat
off
we het
guard.
hebben
We
wel.
can see
Ja,
in
dat
that
wel
early
hebben.
game how much respect they actually gave towards the way of Clicks and Higgs. Like, at one point, we were kind of looking around and like, wait, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Nou, maar
Are
we
Shark
hebben
and
hem,
TD
hè.
even land
We
in
hebben
Wonky?
hem,
They
denk
did
ik.
eventually land, but they took like such little loot that Clicks and Higgs were kind of given almost the entire POI for free.
It's crazy how long I felt like that fight went on, right? Like, you know, when we saw these practice games, don't want to, like, you know, dig too much into those, but we saw this go a certain way, and to see, like, this super long, we're in the zone, and even in that situation where Shark was by himself, it's like, oh man, you know,
Yeah,
like,
we hebben hem, man.
let's close it up. Shark's like, oh, hey, Higgs, go down to 3 HP, hold on a minute. I was like, wait, hold on, is he about to come back? Is he about to clap back?
It's funny, when we were watching that, I remember Zeke was telling me, he's like, so God, I think they're taking a little too long. Like, this fight has staggered out too long. I'm like, it staggered out too long 10 minutes ago, right? Like, they've been here way too long. This has not been...
Wat zitten ze ook allemaal, jongen?
Might be on both ends, but Clicks Higgs are definitely looking more confident for now.
Obviously, one of the big talking points coming into this weekend was the NA on NA action. One of
Ja,
those
maar af.
instances, of course, was Cooper and Reet versus Aders
Yeah,
and
let's
Ritual.
go.
They did not fight in the
Let's
early game,
go.
but we actually see both of those teams find themselves in the top 10.
Maak
Right?
maar af.
Reet in 4th place right there. Aders and
Hoeveel
Ritual
kills
in
hebben we
7th place.
dood?
So, honestly, I feel like both teams potentially kind of
Ja.
feeling comfortable splitting that.
Ik heb,
split up
even
towards the
kijken.
north side of the map. I know Reet and Cooper were
Ik
kind
heb
of talking
9
about,
kills.
hey, you know, if the day is going bad for either one of us, I'm expecting the fight to be
Ik heb
taken
9.
by maybe somebody, but I don't really expect it to happen, right? I mean,
Rematch.
I don't know. Time will tell. What I'm
Ben
seeing is
al
a
in
lot
lobby,
of
bro.
NA teams on that top 10, top 5 on the
Liefo.
leaderboard, so I'm curious.
Ja.
Patapi.
Oh. Mijn kont is nat.
Heel mijn rug, jongen. Oh.
Ik heb ventilator op mijn bek staan. Die keihard me.
Hey, hadden om weer bij jou ook of niet?
Wacht, ik ga even buiten kijken, want mijn gordijn is dicht. Moment. Oh, kut, ik zit binnen mijn tv. Ja, is gewoon normaal.
Bij ons is het echt helemaal fik zwart, jongen.
Oh my god. Net zoals in Afrika.
Oh, die is vies.
Ajak. Ajak. Valken, even terugkomen, nu eentje.
Kom aan. Ja, ready. Ja. Nou, wat denk ik.
Alleen iemand moet nog ready.
En de volgende game gaat
Ja,
bijna
maar
beginnen.
ready en... Ja, ik denk al denk ik wel. Ja. Wat? Waarom?
Ik kan geen fullscreen doen, dat is wel kut, maar...
Maar nu staan we daarover, man.
Even in this game one, that high ground, really, no one was willing to just let it go. How many times have we seen just like, oh, hey, a team just showed up and on high ground and, oh, they've just been up there. We keep saying the same thing, hey guys.
Je kunt hier ook gewoon tegen elkaar, wat?
Ja, maar ik kan niet sprinten, dat is een bug of zoiets, ik weet niet hoe dat komt.
Ja, bij mij, ik kan wel gewoon springen.
Nee, de vorige map vond ik wel beter, man. Van Legends Landing. Maar,
Obviously, we did talk a little bit about wonky lane like Clicks and Higgs versus Sharkatini. Obviously, because Clicks and Higgs are landed over there at wonky lane, guess who's going to be uncontested? Peterbot and Polyo over at Squibbly. With that being said, right, they want to be uncontested. They don't want to take that early fight off spawn, that is. Early fights are kind of their bread and butter. You can see they're kind of pushing around the map, but I feel like they kind of got humbled a little bit that game.
Look, I'm going to shout out my man, Levin2K here, because we were talking to Pete yesterday, and there's this thing that, you know, happens every now and then. Pete gets really confident. He goes in quickly to try and get a quick finish, but either he takes a big loss of shield and HP, and then he has to heal up. Polyo makes it there, they take the fight again, and they win it. You know, that's pretty standard. They get a bunch of eliminations over time, but you're in an international event. I mean, if you go down, you can see it kind of just sets you up for a staggered situation. Zone pulled, you know, east from them after that. I think you gotta kind of just, you know, focus up, take the competition a bit more seriously.
Interesting stuff. I'm actually curious, you guys kind of talk about this early game and, you know, Clicks and Higgs versus Sharkatini. We actually have elicited from the beginning of the game. Let's take a look.
Well,
it's a play. We're double scoring. Yeah. They have to side kick us so they guarantee lose. Yeah. I'm trying to think, bro. Why are they doing this?
Bro, because they want to have a good game.
Probably in a few area.
I don't think they landed here, bro.
I didn't see them, bro. God, I didn't.
I saw one short, but it could have been for jungle.
I'm gonna throw a fake shot.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, go.
Take crouch.
40 crouch. No, not crouch, not crouch. Gotta make a noise. Nice, coming. Teeny, come King Shark.
Just so crazy. I love, again, this is like what's the best part of the lane, is immediately getting to hear directly from the players. Even in that moment, right? Like, what a crazy play. Hey, I'm setting up a fake shot. And you even saw there, Shark's like, oh, I heard it. Oh, wait.
And you got to think, right, for Sharkatini, over the course of the rest of the weekend, they're going to be thinking about the moment. Any single time they hear...
Ik ben alleen en ik win gewoon.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's also pretty cool that
Wat
we kind of
zie ik?
a pretty
Zongen. Dat gaan wij niet samen.
Hey, kliks, bro.
Ja, nu zitten we samen. Nu zitten we samen.
Maar waar is Maro? Ik zie Maro niet.
Hier.
Oh, hier. Ah, oké.
Ja, Edel speelt ook nu, Chap ook.
Ja, ik zag wel kliks al staan. Lekker, man.
Hoe is kliks
I
op,
mean, they're
man?
close to Wonky Land, but it's a completely different drop, and they were like on the same height. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, where are they? It was the same confusion that Clicks and Higgs were having, but then the fight ended up stagnating.
Ik heb hier ineens match. Ik heb niet match.
I mean, that worked incredibly well.
Ik heb ineens match,
They
man.
were put in a 2v1, and Higgs did get dropped to maybe like 5-10 HP, but in the end, they won the fight, and that's truly what
Ja, man. Wat
Absolutely. So, guys,
een
what do you think? With
Yo,
again, we're just trying to be in the top 25. We're trying to be in the upper half of the lobby after these 6 games, 5 more. What do we need to change for game number 2?
I mean, for a lot of these teams, it's got to be the early game. Obviously, we've talked a lot about the teams who kind of found success during that game, but I feel like when we jumped into the game and watched for like a minute, there was like 90 players alive super fast, which means that basically 5 teams instantly went down, which is kind of to be expected because we know that there is a lot of teams that are kind of contesting each other around the map. The approach to the early game is going to be the difference for a lot of these teams.
Well, it's time to see if they can make those adaptations. Again, this is game number 2. Nobody freak out. I'll do it for you. Casters, over to you.
Hey, game 1 did not disappoint. That is for sure, Jacob. I mean, definitely expecting to see a little drawn out fights. The original starting point's getting a little shaky, but it's going to be an uphill battle for some of these teams.
Yeah, you kind of look at the Clicks and Shark fight over at Even though Clicks didn't have the most phenomenal
boxfighting.
they outplayed
Dus
Shark.
geef ons nu alsjeblieft een match.
Game 2 is here, so let's jump right in.
Maar hoezo? Ga je nou weer weggaan of zo?
As each game passes, you kind of have to
Ja, zie,
look
dus
at
was
your
hij dan.
spot on that leaderboard. We know it's top 25 that get that qualification to Championship Sunday, and the bottom 25 have to do it
Wie zijn
again
Mike is
tomorrow.
naar de
So you
Tigers?
don't need to win every single game.
Niet
You
van
just
mij.
need to do good enough.
From Sphinx. All they really want to win right now is the off-spawn contention. Nebs, Nathan, though, a little bit faster than to connect the shots. No
Oh fuck, ik ben dood. Of niet? Ja, toch. Laat maar, echt waar. Kijk, mens.
Gather some resources, so these two are going to have to meet head-on at a later point.
Yep. For now, let's just kind of load up, give ourselves a little bit of a fair fight. Chap, Flixie, Romero and his duo. This is something that we caught very, very early on. I believe it was Chap that was able to get both of those eliminations, and then we saw him down later because of the third parties. And now it goes, they both grab their respective floor loadout.
Okay.
That gets the best of Romero first.
It's a tough breaking point right now.
Sorry, boy.
Argentinians, Lewa gonna be left to try and pick up the pieces.
Ja, ik had geen keus, man. De post.
Ik ga weer het juiste team. Want er wil iemand in. Ben je niet dood of zo?
Hoppa, weer een potje gewonnen. 3 keer op rij. Kom op, boys. Kom op, boys. Kom op. Jullie kunnen dit. Geloof in jezelf. Kom op, man.
Persoonlijk geloof ik niet echt helemaal in mezelf. Oké, jongens. Ik vind als we nu geen match hebben dan.
But I'd argue that this is a much worse position currently for Jonas and Palos, because you have to remember, Yapko Panzer, they've already had one solid lobby, and in a 6-game format for top 25, most of the heavy lifting has been completed.
So now,
Palos and Jonas, they're going to be stuck having to try and escape.
X is dood.
Ja, man.
X dood?
We kunnen niks doen zonder match, man. Wow, what the hell? Hier achter ons, hier bij ons.
I wish Zeke would have asked them what they need to do different, because it feels like they
Hallo,
did exactly that. In game 1, we saw them fly high. They didn't go
Jongens, ik kan echt gewoon niks doen, man.
and that made it late to take over Wonky Land. This time around, it looks
Je bent dood, bro. Pak hem! Lekker! Weer een potje win. Maar het komt op, check.
Doe maar, we moeten goed match hebben, man. Team is toch match?
Die teammaat van mij niet ook echt letterlijk iedereen. Ja, maar iedereen zit al in een... Ik ga gewoon deze team dan wat ervoor.
What the fucking match, man? Moet je aan je match krijgen? Zie je al niet? Ah, oké, dank u.
Watching if you're Flixing Higgs currently, because Sharktini, how many times have you seen them contested at Wonky Land? It's been happening all season long, Jacob. And sure, that was just in the Evo tournament, but even at a global level, preventing Sharktini from converting into a top 5 finish, I would be a little worried about
Ja, ik wist niet wie daar bij me zat, maar dat was jij dus.
Wondering maybe, where did Vico get that elimination while uncontested?
Ja, doe dat zo, man.
Let me tell you, he actually took down Aegis from Frigid Fortress, really playing a role in that fight.
Ja,
O'Reilly's gonna go down, Razan's gonna be by himself, 1v2 situation.
Ja, hier, bij mij. Onto!
Is toch van lap. Adem.
Ik laat je leven, zeg ik toch.
Oh, you man.
Hier, zeg je wie man, what the fuck.
Might be forced to give up the chase. Don't want to expend too many resources too early on, especially when you know that Painted Palms currently belongs to Panzer and Yapko. The juice just isn't worth the squeeze, so Reason will manage to escape, but it might only be a temporary relief, because Yapko and Panzer, they might have a good idea of where exactly the solo's at.
Yeah, and you just got to be very cognizant of where the zone is actually pulling, because right now, you can kind of see the edge of it, so it seems like it might be away from the northeastern part of the map. Only time will tell. Isaiah, Scary, going for alert play. They already win.
Ja, nou ben ik... Ja, oké, ik ben nou 1 keer in tweede. Maar ik ben van de rest heb ik wel allemaal eerstes, jongens. Kom maar, man. Kom op nou. Nou kom, wie wilt er nou in mijn team? Kom dan naar mij toe en dan ga ik op mijn team rood. Als je naar team rood wil, moet je maar komen. Nou, team groen dan. Nee, niet goed. Nou, team rood dan. Ja.
instance, Focus and Thomas get a little bit of a run back here to see how exactly that all broke down for BLD. And unfortunately, yeah, Thomas just too quick with it, waiting on that opposite angle.
Yeah, almost makes me wonder, is that a part of their strategy after kind of realizing in game one, we might need to get a little bit more aggressive for Surge, whether it's close range or long range. But Thomas, Focus, from Riptides to that elimination, they're already on the move. Sky and Stroll as well, from the north side of Battlewood. They did exactly what Venno said they should have done. Switched up their game plan, because what they were doing should not have worked. And now Sky and Stroll, instead of overstaying their welcome at Battlewood Boulevard, they instantly rotate the Dark Dominion.
Already recognize the fact that this lobby is moving at a different pace entirely, and they don't want to be left behind. Staying one step ahead of the pack is always going to be difficult, though, especially with the way that some of these other teams are playing. Hobby and Aminish, after that first game performance, they found themselves just inside of the top 10, and they're looking to hold on to that position.
Fights don't stop. Chap and Flixie from one to the next. They win their off-spawn fight, and sure, essentially, that new Sanctuary would be uncontested.
Oh, man, mijn tegen. Komt
See them rotating out through the tunnel, put themselves in a 2v1 situation. Nutty's the only one down below, and there's really no options. They closed off each end, and they're really trying to make their numbers advantage work, pressuring in zone after zone. Nutty's is trying to go ahead and run away now, and this might be his only chance at survival.
Flixie sent a little bit further back than what had originally been intended there, but Chap's still going to get chase cut off yet again by the top of that tunnel. And that might have been just enough delay for Nutty to slip away. But even still, Jacob, relatively low on materials, doesn't have any metal, needs to get a reboot off for Gabzetta, and there are other teams still looking to try and enter new Sanctuary, and whether or not they're also a team that's hurting for some hard material, looking to try and refarm some of those elements, it's not going to be very easy for Nutty to find this reboot anytime soon.
Yeah, for Chap and Flixie, though, I like that lack of desperation for that elimination. They say, hey, he's going in new Sanctuary, he's going to have to come out eventually, and they're just going to wait instead of waiting and moving in and possibly getting lurked, just like you see Janice and Cheat doing here to Controller. Haman, I'm not sure if he's there anywhere nearby, but he desperately needs to get some sort of a signal because they are gearing up right now to break through the wood, land a good shot on a Controller, but he got the signal just a little too late. He's in the box, they're not trying to let him out, and they do not let it happen. That first knock, that one's going to be easy. Haman is almost nowhere in sight. So for Cheat and Janice, that was a free elimination.
They definitely need to start establishing some territory pretty soon here. Haman, though, stuck inside of their circle base, but if he's that high up, Jacob, you have to wonder how exactly were Chica and Giannis able to slip by the watchtower, and now Haman forced to try and figure out, do I stick around? Am I going to be able to disengage? Or will I just be lit up the moment that I try to escape my position?
I will say the saving grace, though, for him is the zone is pulling away from that spot. So eventually, everybody will have to go. He'll get at least a chance at that reboot card, but you can kind of see in Cheaton's inventory, literally seconds before, he had bandages in there. So you can see they're lacking a ton of loot, and that elimination's got to help them tenfold. Let's jump on our winners of game one, 101 points, Cold and Rapid. They said, hey, this one for them was a little easy. They got high ground. I don't think anybody had a chance to look up.
They were playing that first lobby as if it was an opens, Jacob. It did not seem like it was a Summit Major LAN appearance because they just had so much control and they never once hesitated with any of their decisions. So the composure very clearly matching their mentality right now. But Yuma, Toyota, scenes over by Frigid Fortress. Could be heating up pretty soon here.
Ja, dat gaat niet.
Toyota doing what he can to try and stay out of the line of sight there from Biko and Malabuka. You know, they're likely to be lurking. Rapid Coldo, they might have just caught Pupu completely off guard, completely sandwiching this duo. They're both so low on HP, and Rapid, he knows there's only one good bump shot left to make this elimination happen.
Yeah, Cold, Rapid. It almost feels like they chased these guys down in game one. That's how they're able to get their early surge and eliminations, and they're trying to stick to the game plan. So the northwestern part of the map, so as soon as they can find this elimination here and clear a path, they don't have much to worry about outside Reed and Cooper. We're at Latte Landing. They know they have their long launch pad then, so they're not in a rush either. And this has kind of been the meta this season. With the shockwaves, with the gauntlets, you can go ahead and travel a long distance in a short time. So you're seeing with the surge changes coming in, more and more teams staying inside of the zone early on.
But the bigger issue that was building there was where Cooper was actually based at. He had the full cutoff point there for Mini PO. He's forcing them to rotate through painted palms, and eventually they're going to run straight into where Echo and Panzer were at just to try and evade two other duos. So it's not like they have a clear cut in front of them.
Moet gaan. Edit open.
They're also taking a little bit more of a scenic tour. They
Oh, hier.
definitely want to start trying to build a little bit more cushion zone in the points department, because 8 is not what we would anticipate to see this duo after that first lobby.
Yeah, and underneath, Benno Curve just rotating on by. I thought for a second, maybe they're just lurking around, but no, you just can't freely pass Peterbot and Pollo when they're that high in the sky. They got a huge vision advantage over everybody else, but Benno and Curve sneaking by, making sure they don't take a single shot of damage. Up top, Peterbot and Pollo, they're going to use the fizz, the shot.
It is so fucking stacked.
Going to make it to zone. Alex and Reckless, they moved in from the far eastern side of the map over towards Sandy Strip, and typically for teams that do land on the outskirts, they do rotate into POIs just like replenish what they're missing from their drop spot.
One above, one below, Reckless on the rooftop.
Deze guys zijn zo slecht, man. Alleen maar healen, bro. Jullie zijn echt fucking slecht.
Recognizing the fact that they haven't been taken that immediate
Shit's
engage
going
with
here.
Agers and Ritual. These two teams from NAC kind of just recognizing the fact that maybe we play to our own strengths before we look to try and take out the other.
Yeah, this is one of those spots I've been talking about, Latte Landing. There's a launch pad back here that takes you higher and further than most of the other launch pads on the map. And then you mix it with the Flowberry Fizz like you see Reek and Cooper doing there. You almost fly so high you're out of render distance, but Peterbot and Pollo didn't get that same chance. It didn't work out in the same manner. They end up in a scuffle underneath, but it's not just them. It's not just Curve and Benno who are also nearby. There are 3 teams directly here with 2 more on the outskirts.
But this isn't the first time that we've seen Pete and Pollo essentially getting cut off by Benno and Curve. I don't know what Benno's been getting up to, but it really feels like he's got a lot of cutoff points set up specifically to engage with Pete and Pollo. Could be pre-firing that we are only in game 2 after all, Jacob, but Benno, Curve, they got their damage and now they're getting out.
Yep, go into the tunnel where they have that secret porta potty to go ahead and teleport themselves through as Peterbot Pollo continue to try
Waar staat die andere guy dan? Ik zag alleen hem.
the other side, and they were honestly disruptors of that last game, probably being a huge focal point of why Peterbot and Pollo got down. I'm not sure if this is an act of revenge or just maybe early damage for Storm. Either way, Peterbot looks to not slow down here.
Pete Pollo definitely very aggressive, and that's exactly why 143 below on surge damage, and if they keep taking these odd shots over at Cammy and Hadi, they're probably gonna live it a bite back here. Hadi nearly getting the finish there onto Peterbot.
Pieter Bot is NAP, jongen.
Exchange from both ends. It's going to mean that Pete has to step back. Pollo now looking to take over that aggressive front, but Pollo eats another decent contact.
Wanneer stuurde hij dan?
Cammy doing a great job at just keeping everything closed off.
Yeah, you see, they got what they wanted.
They won the exchange for the most part, but they get
Peterbot not missing a shot. First down on the Harley, but you see, Taco, they're still 27 below the damage threshold. They needed more than just a full elimination worth of damage, so they have to continue to be on the hunt. Right now, it looks like they're looking for Cammy as a solo, but you see there's plenty of opportunities right in front of them.
That went from being the dream scenario for Cammy and Hardy to an absolute nightmare, and now Cammy trying to see if he can enact his own revenge here, but Pete quick with the cutoff. Pete here to remind everybody exactly who he is.
Het is niet overleven, denk ik.
He'll be forced to just keep things moving forward. He got the damage he was after. He doesn't want to spend any more time here.
Niet alles
and
overgooien.
he's left Cammy in the dust.
Niet alles overgooien, zeg ik.
And everything else in between.
It's a 5
Ben je daar goed?
There's no more heals. He has to make it in now. Timing has never been.
Jongen, wat zeg ik nou? Gooi niet even ons open.
The siphon comes in, and now they have a fizz.
Waarom luister je niet?
But when you look at their loadout, they're in desperate need of loot.
They might be able to clash with a handful more teams. It all depends on whether or not they actually want to try and make some sort of a dead side approach. You also have to remember that there are going to be other duos looking to try and scale up this mountain phase. The zones over by Wonky can be very brutal to actually retain any sort of materials. And when you are a duo that's all
4, 5 seconden.
last little bits of sparks, Chino, Pablo, kind of a similar position here. They might have a little bit of damage to be just above for the moment, but will that stay true?
Yeah, in the next zone, that's going to get flipped upside down more than certainly. See Minute down on the side of that mountain. You said it yourself. Making up and scaling the summit here is going to be near impossible. Only the best will survive. Scroll, Sky, they see them down to just one individual. Sky needs below the damage threshold. 132, essentially needing an elimination, and he needs it now. Storm Surge will activate, and he will take that 25 damage every 7 seconds.
Probably happy to just be leeching off of Size as Flowberry Mist Grenade, but first, can he break out away from Size? Looking back, sees there is a solo behind me. He might be able to be the cutoff point, but instead, recognizing I've just got to keep things moving forward. He's such a low material count here, though, Jacob. If he can find that solo, he can get that elimination. The refresh would buy him so much time instead of having to play for the backside of zone.
Yeah, and if climbing the mountain wasn't hard enough, Peterbot and Pollo go down before they reach the top.
Yeah, those guys do it, eh?
The zone pulling all the way
Hello?
across, so we're going to go through varying different elevation changes, and if you don't have the
Yeah.
materials, Taco, good luck to you, but Sky somehow finds a way to get above the damage.
Ja, daar ben ik dood. Cool.
Hey. So Storm Surge deactivates here. It will not officially
Je moet
turn off in
echt
this
kijken,
game
bro.
until there's 40 or less
Sweaty,
players
bro.
standing.
Sky is so trapped right now. Vico and Malabuka definitely sniffed out his position, but they also know
Ja, dit is
why
kut.
take the risk. They have the
Dan moet je
options,
bouwen.
the opportunity to try and make their way towards the next high ground point, and Sky still as a solo from behind takes down
Oh,
Zone,
ha.
takes out repairs, the siphon kicking in.
This guy's so good.
Extended, but can he actually make it? Another siphon to bail him out.
Hoe dan?
Strokey, he might just be the one to shut Sky's fate down to
Deze
the
guy,
limit
bro.
here. And Sky can't continue working his way up. He's out of this one, but
One shot, bro. Opgetiefd.
Those eliminations were good. He just got no
Oh, wat een noob, jongen.
from it, and that's what eventually
Hey, kunnen jij koppel? Waar? Lekker voor je, bro. Ja, man. Sowieso.
Cascade further and further until you get that victory royale, and obviously eliminations make the difference throughout the test of time in FNCS. We've seen it play a role multiple times.
Guess who's on the high ground currently? It's Acorn and Bolt, and this is practically
Hey,
their
bedoeld.
backyard. Starting off over by Storm Station.
Schiet, ja!
They haven't really had
Ja, ja, ja,
to
kom, 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 kom,
move
kom.
too far away from home, and almost
Oh, mijn jeetje, jongen. Die twee wisten niet wat ze overkwamen.
smothering this lobby and not allowing anybody to even remotely consider trying to challenge them on height. All they've got to do is keep spraying out that secondary height.
Oha, deze berg.
Dat was goed, bro.
Overdrive their way forward. They're
What
just
the
getting cut off
fuck?
entirely. Bolt and Acorn, along with the rest of the lobby, the catastrophe is
What?
taking place. No one can survive.
Yeah, as we see, going off the side of the mountain again, going down, maybe a little bit of hills in the way for Pablo. Gino, you see they have very little materials, no extra heals. Storm Surge is no longer a worry in this game. It's about where they're going to get the elimination, and Kiruo from the flank.
Eigenlijk, bro.
He gets back to back by himself to make miracles happen.
Hey, better than a last minute fill, and what else could you possibly ask for than
Oh, en die twee dan die daarboven zitten, man. Oh, nee, bro.
now looking to see if they can have possible challenge here.
Hallo, hallo, hallo.
Still looking. They're gonna drop, but it's momentary.
Charlie Gamer.
Matt and Cole, too many duos. A little bit too close for comfort here. Malabuka without any material. He's waiting to see if Vico can actually play catch up, but Vico left behind. He's just got to find his own
Oh, Vino is so good. Holy shit.
currently, and there's no one in front of him.
Oh, we
Oh.
found old build. This is absolutely perfect. No material left. Even with them both still
Wat doen
alive,
we?
they reunite
Dood?
finally back into the same box. But this is where they need elimination. The zone is going to push some players over, not directly in their path, but give them a chance, just like that. A much-needed Elim was found by Malabuka.
Yapko and Panzer are still doing their thing, though. 5 eliminations already for Yapko, 6 in total for this duo. But they know there's still a team hanging out all the way in the high ground. Will they get the chance to chop? First, we're going to bring down Giannis. Next, they're going to look towards Victor B. They're seeing if they can chop out his floor, but they just barely managing
Dirty, digga.
Acorn and
Oh,
Bolts, though, just
shit.
look at what they are doing to the rest of this lobby. They are forcing all of these teams teams underneath them to just burrow underground.
Look how many builds they have, Taco, because it's going over their mountain. Yes, I said it. Acorn and Bolts, they claim this mountain. It pulls up towards this drop spot, and they are not letting up off the gas. This is their perfect opportunity. Not only climb up that leaderboard, but potentially take first. But there's still so many Shark, Teeny still alive. Vico fighting for every inch in this game. He gets the down on a darm. The siphon is needed by Vico, but the onslaught won't stop. Demus is there.
Hij is slecht, bro.
Vico, bro.
Wat zegt hij?
Hoe lift hij?
Kan iemand mij leren Fortnite spelen? Ik ben nieuw. Ja, dat kan. Dat kan. Dat kan wel.
Still causing so much of a delay, though, in terms of where Yapko goes next. He's forced to drop, trying to just stay out of their line of sight, trying to see if he can huddle underneath some of these leftover builds. But Bolts, Acorn, they're taking their sweet time. They know that there's a handful of solos underneath them, so why rush it as Vico's clearing out the lobby all by himself?
Oh fuck, ik zag hem niet aankomen. Nu of een ander keer. Ja, je kunt gewoon komen joinen als je wil, hoor. Het is hier gewoon een free lobby, dus je kunt gewoon komen joinen. Ja, toch.
They have 6 eliminations. They have tons of materials. They have 2 different win conditions. Because if they want to wait until the last zone, they can shockwave out and win by
Alleen je moet even Epic achterlaten. Oh shit.
For him and Malabuka is incredible scenery, but now with the pullback, Vico is left trying to just stay in alert position. Bolts is off on the hunt, but he's still staying right to the side. They just have so much white heel ammunition. They don't need to rush it. Vico only has so many more options before he completely runs out of space to work with. As Acorn Bolts, they continue to spray away at the builds. Vico doing everything in his power to try and stay alive, but I fear we are only watching the inevitable unfold here, Jacob. Vico might be able to try and shift things up, but he's going to need to pull out all the stops here, and it doesn't look like it'll be enough as Bolts finally going in for the closing shot.
Ja, ik ben dood.
Good to go, and we've got a victory royale.
From the backside of the mountain to the top of the summit. Acorn and Bolts.
Ja, maar ik kan niks doen, bro. Kijk.
Back to back with NA on top, and they have to be feeling out of this world, Frankie.
Acorn and Bolts, the Cardinals were saying, you must be feeling out of this world with that victory royale.
Yeah, very
ecstatic.
ecstatic.
Hij speelt zo vies, man.
Very lucky, but of course, Acorn was IGLing very well. Nice.
Ik heb je ook geaccepteerd. Alleen request join moet je dan.
You're looking like it. Acorn sometimes the commentators
ja.
a little bit of time to warm up on day one. You don't have day one here. You've only got 6 games to do it. But it looks like you're feeling yourself right now.
Yeah. I seen Cold Rapid win a game. You know, we had to follow them. And they on top, baby. Let's go.
Have you guys all had a conversation in North America back in the player lounge to say, you know what, let's do this. Let's take this away from Europe.
Oh yeah, we're all doing it for NA, you know, and Twisted Minds, of course, one of the best orgs in the world.
Well, guys, you definitely gave us
Yeah.
all a show. We're going to have to break when we come back. Game number 3.
Easy clap. Gewoon easy clap, jongen. Easy clap. Hier staat die tuig, jongen. Maar iedereen is gediend van dit hele lobby, bro.
Dat vind ik goed. Met zijn emote en zit heel dat kut in je beeld staan en zo, is kut.
Ja, ik weet het.
Om 9 uur is dat gedaan, dus dan kunnen we wel weer alle dingen spelen.
Kijk uit. 41, correct. Ja, Naruto 1 AP.
Oha. Die was geil. Maar ik kan niet sprinten, bro, dit is kut.
Dood. Maro, ben jij dan?
Dat ben ik.
Oh, wat? Ah, ik weet het
valt.
Ja, je kunt die pickaxe bro, dat is goed.
Ja, ik kan niet sprinten. Alsof ik OG speelt, ik heb.
Weet ik veel.
Oh shit.
Lekker man. GG. Man, Naruto. En net was heel deze lobby vol. En nou is het in één keer wel dikke gegiet, bro.
Nee. Hey, wat? Boxfight?
Ja, je zit boxfight en ja, Stone Wars en zo.
Kijk hoor, ik hoor je. Wauw. 70. 1 AP. Hey Dennis.
Hij wacht, wat er is.
Ik denk dat dat veel daar, man. What the fuck? Maar anders kan ik die livestream niet horen van NCS. Ik steek mijn ballen in je oog. Dat kan altijd niet sprinten.
Oh, wat?
Gewoon in deze map ofzo.
Hoe heb jij ze dood? En het open. Kun je niet blijven zitten, bro?
Hi, good evening. Ik mis bro, wat?
Ja.
Any last hope? It's a good sign of what's to come, I think.
Dark Full Potje.
Yeah, really nicely played from these guys as well. I think they identified, of course, that the zone was
going.
Iedereen is letterlijk geliefd omdat ze bang zijn voor Paro.
watched a lot. If you guys at home have watched a lot of Fortnite at the higher level, we've seen that
Ja,
take
man.
high early level. It doesn't usually go too well, but because
Zijn met 4 man.
and more importantly, all
Waar? Ik zie maar 3.
Bij de map staat 4.
Ah.
Maar jullie zitten in 1 team of wat?
Ja.
Ja,
team
dan. Dan. Het is zo goed dat ik kan sprinten, man. Ik sprint al jaren en nu kan ik dan. Ik was vooruit spelen met een handicap gewoon. Wat is dit? Zo raar. Ik kan ook liever shockwave, want ja. Dus ja.
Ja, je kunt meedoen, tuurlijk.
Ik heb mijn visual sound effects ook uitstaan.
Ja, dat kan. Tuurlijk.
Het is zo kut om te spelen, man. Hij heeft een gast reload op een punt. Ja bro, wat kan ik doen, gast?
Hoe dan?
Ik wil je 100 keer geraakt, man. 4 keer altijd 10 damage. What the fuck?
Als zou iedereen gewoon voor zichzelf doen. Alleen.
And ultimately a very, very good game for them to take advantage of that. So.
Yeah, and I'm glad we get to see
Yo, man.
try stuff a bit, because really and truly, there are not
Yo,
many
man.
players on this stage that are better fraggers than...
Waarom is een not, dikke? Meest simpel edit daar. Maar ik kan niet horen waar jullie zijn, want ik heb dat uitgezet. Ik heb anders 20 voetstappen horen in deze map, terwijl ik aan het kijken. Dat is kut.
Maar hier kun je niet pickaxen, bro.
Hoezo?
Ja, je kan niet pickaxen.
Deze map lijkt toch, jongen? Wat doe jij hier?
Wat doe jij? Wat doe je? Nee, wat doe ik? Wat deed ik, broer? Ik zat klem, in één keer doe jij open en ik denk, what the fuck doe ik hier?
And again, we want to see more of it today.
Allemaal anderhalf minuut.
We zijn al met z'n tweeën.
The other one still has all of the firepower necessary to clutch up, and that's what Sky just did right there. Yes, of course, it wasn't an amazing game for them. Yes, of course, they're not moving their way from the leaderboard absolutely massively, but what is important for them is just keeping them in.
Ik kan ook niet zien naar waar de zone gaat. Of ja, het is een beetje onduidelijk. Dat bosje waarschijnlijk. Ik zie die voetstappen gewoon niet, hè. Hé, maar bro. Nou, weer 2 tegen 1.
Oh yeah.
Still a bit of those nerves. I know we're only 2 games in, but we're almost halfway through, right? We need
Maar hoezo kunnen we niet meedoen?
Well, that's the thing. You have to throw the nerves out the window now as we get onto the rest of this tournament. If you need a win, you need a big game. High ultimately still is a very, very good way of going about that. Even if a lot of the other teams aren't playing it, it always gives you that green light. But of course, if you're one of those teams that are outside of that top 25, so many other teams will be thinking to do the same, and that's when it becomes.
En dan ga ik wel even kijken weer.
Ja, dat is goed, man.
Ja bro, ik kan er niks tegen doen man, 2 tegen 1 man! Honderd.
Ja, jullie kunnen dat ook allemaal in de Duits.
20 damage terwijl jullie meer doen. Ja. Ik kan niet eens bouwen, hoe kan ik niet kan? Fuck you, fucking snitches. Ja, het is klaar met deze hoer game mode man. Heel de 2 tegen 1.
Ja, we liever wel anders even.
It just seems to work.
Het is ook niet.
That's such a valuable asset to have in this lobby in particular, because again, as I mentioned.
Rest ook even liever dan. Zo. Wat zei hij tegen mij in de chat? Hij zegt, ik moet mijn mic fixen. Ja, doe maar gewoon even op je gemak, jongen. Geen probleem. Doe maar gewoon op je gemak. Ja, is goed. Jo. Mama. Hey, niemand moet nog even ready gaan, boys.
Ja.
Wat zegt hij? Ik wil graag nog een keer. Ja, is goed, jongen. Als je tijd hebt, dan kom maar goed in de chat. En dan, als je een potje mee wil doen, dan hoor ik het wel.
Dit is wel weggevallen.
I was shaking.
When I saw him reach for that telescope, I said, I am finished.
Yeah, he was like, can I draw? And I was like, oh, he wants to be commentator. He's trying to be an analyst.
Might as well have said, sorry, can I take the job? Instead of saying, can I draw? Because, I mean, that's what he is, though. He's a great mind in the game, right? Yeah. And I think that's absolutely crucial in terms of Kerr's development as well. We've seen him just rising to the
Ik weet niet of dat hier nou komt, want hij heeft liefde.
Fantastic stuff, guys. I'm getting word. The next game is ready to go. So, Caster,
ja, is goed.
take it away.
With EU on top of the leaderboard, NA winning back-to-back games, I had to invite a little friend on over to let us know what he's thinking about the action.
Listen, man, I was feeling too energized after watching those first two games that I had to go ahead. I had to jump on with my pals right here and get into the mix and see what's going to be happening live.
And this guy sees
Als je in de chat komt wel.
all of a sudden he wants to keep the yap going. Vivid, how many teams are you going to pick up here?
Ja,
We're going to find out in game 3.
heb net gezegd. Oh, maar dit is ook gewoon allemaal 2 versus 2, 2. Ja, het is allemaal 2 versus 2.
Kan ook solo spelen.
Ja, weet ik.
Focus has been in the early game. I feel like Wonky Land, we gotta go ahead and mention that. We gotta go ahead and take a little peek that way, because if we take a look at the score overall, it's gotta be 1-1. But a quick movement before we jump over there. Champ and Flixie on the other side of the map.
Yep, 2-0 off spawn at the new Sanctuary. There was a couple of scares in game 1 where after those eliminations, Chap did go down, but Flixie picked him right back on up. He said, no, I'm not ready to have you go down just yet. But they get beat. They get beat by a long shot by Romero and Lewa.
Lewa and Romero have been waiting for the opportunity to strike back. They've really got to get some points building on
Hicks is weer dood.
They need it to start now before we're done with the halfway point. But trouble is still striking everywhere else. Agers and Ritual, they are chasing down Cooper, Higgs, Clicks.
Kijk hem weggelopen, jongen.
Absolutely ran down by Teeny and Shark. There is no escape. Vivid, you might have picked the wrong opportunity.
Ai. Ik heb het echt zo tegenwerken, jongens.
Over how good Clicks and Higgs have been doing off spawn over the past couple of days. The confidence is probably what led them to actually make the final decision to land at Wonky Land. But I can't lie, when the stakes matter, when everything matters here on the upper bracket, man, falling short.
Yeah, let's see how this off-spawn fight actually went. I did see some third-party shots coming into the mix, but Higgs gets beat off-spawn for the floor loot. Teeny takes him down. He's trying to run away, but eventually it gets all cut short. An interesting decision, though. We did not see them try to chase down Clicks as his solo, so we can see the return of Higgs.
They know that there's just too many other opportunities here, but Aegis first, he's gonna look to bring down Reed. Cooper somewhere left stranded now. What was originally just, pleasant vibes between the two NA teams has immediately turned into a clash here as Ritual and Aegis feel like they're on the hunt right now for Cooper.
I mean, they should be, right? Maybe they're a little bit jealous. Hey, listen, this duo is landed at our same drop spot. They're a little bit higher up on the leaderboard. Nah, we got to take the fight to them. So Latte landed up there. We can kind of see how that one is painted out. Cooper obviously going to be wanting to run away, but it looks like Jacob Ritual and Aegis are kind of on the hunt. They might have a little bit of information as to where he is currently at.
Yeah, they just realized they
Late landing, what the fuck, bro?
Dat is zo'n kutplek.
Nee, ja. Is dat zeker weer nieuw?
Hoezo nieuw?
Ja, ik weet niet. Ik moest vandaag weer updaten, bro.
Ja. Ja, gisteren was update op, by the way.
Ja, maar ja, dat...
Niet heel speciaal.
Oké.
Volgende week vrijdag of zaterdag nieuw seizoen.
Ja.
Dus blijkbaar ook wel live vindt of zo, om 1 uur 's nachts of zoiets.
Ja, ook 7 dagen is dan.
En zo'n timer.
Ja. Het kan goed zijn dat dat volgende weekend is, maar dat kan goed zijn dat ik niet kan als ik naar Intense Festival ga.
Kind of
Kan goed zijn dat ik dan niet kan.
aggressiveness that we were talking about earlier on, right? Brazil, they love to play that aggressive game. We've heard it in interviews. It feels like the region itself just plays so fast, so aggressive, and then when you show up here on LAN, everything kind of slows down. So there's going to be a big adjustment here for duos like Gone and Knight. As you can see, they did try to go ahead and push Rezons and Tinka, but quickly being held off, and once they kind of reassess, are like, wait a minute, we do not have those materials to continue to play the way that we want to. Full reset, and they do gotta be careful because these type of fights, they make a lot of noise for all of the other surrounding duos.
Yeah, this is just one of those sides of the map where it can get messy from the new sanctuary inside of that bowl, which is the surrounding land. It's almost hard to get out as you jump on board Peterbot and Poyo, making a quick rotation south towards Humble Hills. They're trying to go ahead and interact with some of these contested fights that we know Muzz and Sphinx, Nebs and Nathan are doing at Humble Hills.
Perfecte loot ook volgens mij.
Heeft hij wel eens een keer een punt, of niet?
Ja, ja, een paar teams hebben al boven de 100.
Ja.
Ja, 6 games. Flix heeft weer een beurt.
Here at Sandy Strip, they have plenty of company nearby, probably more neighbors, and they're actually looking for, at least for the early starting measures, but Sandy Strip, we knew it was going to be triple contested since the start of this day, Jacob, and I really can't help but wonder whether or not some of these duos are going to choose to stick around.
Kijk hoeveel teams hier zitten, what the fuck. Holy balls.
We do see them there now, rotating with the zone, but I was talking to Kanata in between one of those games. He said, yeah, we made them leave. We only have to deal with one team now, it's Chino and Pablo. So, I mean, I wouldn't be too excited because they're huge threats to this lobby, but at least one less team that they have to worry about.
Vico and Malibuca here towards Frigid Fortress. I feel like those first 2 zones were pretty favorable. Whenever we took a look at the leaderboard, pretty much every single team that landed on the northeast side of the map, I saw a little arrow upwards next to their name, obviously picking up big points, but you're going to have to go a little bit higher than that. Yapko and Panzer right now sitting pretty first place, 180 points, and I can't lie, the biggest difference is all in the eliminations.
That's also a very worrying factor for so many of these other teams because we know top 25 can be forgiving, but at the same time, what if you're a duo that's trying to contest the team looking to claim their drop spot outright for finals? And that's where Cooper finds himself in a bit of a hole here currently, forced out of Latte landing by Aegis and Ritual, but he had nowhere left to run to.
Latte is so far
north of the map, the only places that he could look to retreat towards were straight into the hands of other duos.
Yeah, and it's just unfortunate that the zone is still floating around the north side of the map, because if we had a far southern zone or even towards the northwest, but most of those teams would be out of here already. Maybe a few sprinkled around, but it'd be definitely easier than this. Getting pushed by Jargu, sliver of HP, Carillion from the other side. They pick up that elimination. And there's one thing about Carillion and Jargu. It's a team you could almost never count out. They got in through that last opportunity, switching teammates. They get into the FNCS finals at the bottom of that bubble.
And you can see their kind of slow approach to that fight as we take a look towards another fight that has seemingly reached a bit of a stalemate. We're going to be looking at a Minish and Javi. They hear that overdrive grenade go off. They're going to be taking a look. They're not going to fall short to a little bit of a fooled plan, similar to how Shark and Tini did earlier on. They can actually see the players disappear off in the distance, so they know they actually did use that grenade to go ahead and rotate out.
Like the idea there, though, from Bakusin here. They don't need to stick around. They've actually had a lot of success already on the starting point today. I believe they were in that 8th place position on the leaderboard entering this halfway point of today's competition. So the only things really left to do is wait and see what are Chino and Pablo going to do with this legendary POI.
Oh my gosh, what are Pablo and Chino going to do with it? What is the rest of the lobby going to do with it as well? Take a look at the map. I can't even count that high, Jacob. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams. I think there's like a solo in there somewhere as well. The zone seemingly is going a little bit further south of Sandy Strip, but every single team is looking to claim some early real estate towards this POI.
I think they heard you, because as you said 7, another team floated. Wait for us. We want to join the party as well. And there's so many others in the outskirts. So for Chino and Pablo, they kind of have a little bit of advantage here. They were the first to set their flag at this POI. So every team that rotates in thereafter will not know exactly where they're at, what builds are theirs. So you got to be very, very cognizant of getting caught off guard.
Size and Scary, they are one duo that is yet to throw their name into the hat for contention over by Sandy Strip. They're still hanging out near Builders Barracks, and Size, Scary, Spaniards hoping to try and represent, but at the same time, Jacob, coming from that EU nation, they've had a lot of experience with dealing with aggressive fighting styles, and yet still here today, sitting at only 20 points.
Yeah, I'm not too worried just yet. This is game 3, so by the time this one's over, that's when you really look at the leaderboard and see how much the point thresholds controlled your destiny. But coming into this one, I was thinking, okay, you need 3 decent performances maybe to get top 25, 2 pop-off games, or in some cases, Yapko, Panzer, Cold Raptor, A4, and Bolts, you might just need 1.
Peterbot and Pollo back and forth between POIs, right? They continue to try to find some sort of successful aggression. As you can see right there, 1 elimination on Peterbot right now. I did see off screen that's actually going to come off of the back of a reboot, so they were fully aware of the opportunity with that. And I did have sort of like a drive-by conversation with Bax today. I was like, dude, we got to be feeling good, right? Back-to-back NA wins. He was like, dude, I want Peterbot and Pollo to get in the mix, though.
Yeah, this is just so tough, though, because they are looking to get involved, but sadly, Minutes, Alco, the last thing that they ever wanted to see is Peterbot and Pollo barreling down on their position. Cammy and Huddy still hanging out by the lighthouse, though, tells me that they're just going to be looking to trail P and Pollo. They're not going to allow them to freely rotate, and that's going to be a thorn in the side there for P and Pollo later on.
Yeah, huge annoyance, because they're a team that, you kind of said it yourself, we were talking to Facts, that they like to get aggressive. We want to see them get aggressive. But this isn't just an NAFNCS. This is the best of the entire world when it comes to Fortnite. You're not going to get the same opportunities. Those windows will be smaller. And I think they're learning that with each and every game goes by. And that's why you think you see a huge drastic change out of the game plan in Game 3 for Peterbot and Pollo.
Yeah, and keep a close eye on all of these teams like Noah and Reason, who actually went ahead. They left Sandy a little bit earlier on, right? We did see them kind of base up on one of those tall buildings. As you can see on the north side of the zone as it currently stands, what do we have? 4 duos kind of posted up here, ready to catch all of those rotates from all of those Sandy teams that we just kind of talked about. Because the zone pulls a little bit further south, all of those teams are eventually going to have to leave Sandy, which provides a great opportunity for anybody that left early to kind of base up and get all of the damage that they might need.
Reason just being proactive, shooting out trees, preventing other duos from having the opportunity to hide behind that natural terrain coverage. Herb and Benno, though, entirely different strategy. They're still hanging out in Battlewood Boulevard. They're hoping to see if they can pick up some additional points here on the elimination, and they might just find exactly what they're after. Ahmed trying to escape. Victor nowhere left to run as Benno just easily clears those 2 out. with her.
Yeah, that's one thing I've learned on NA when Benno won his inter-regional championship from EU and NA is you don't mess with the guy in his drop spot. Multiple times in that major final, teams were trying to steal away his loot. He just chased them down and sent them packing back to the lobby, which kind of helped his game plan because of Surge. But not everybody has that luxury being uncontested. Muzz and Sphinx know that to be a fact. Nebs and Nathan are contesting them off drop. It does seem like in this game they're splitting it, but what does that do to their loadout and their confidence?
Little check-in here with Pablo and Chino. We know that they land Sandy Strip, 280 damage above right now. They're going for some troll. They're going for a little bit of a sneaky play onto some players, but everybody in the surrounding area is taking full advantage. They've done big damage on the Pablo and Chino. They're going to be forced to refresh right now. When we tune into them, they were 260 above, but as soon as they went ahead and took that fight, seemingly took about 100 damage, and their net surge dropped by just that.
Ager's Ritual, they might have been one of those duos involved. Possibly even Ukun and Minifio. Shots were definitely exchanged. I don't even think it was Darman Demish. They just immediately pulled themselves off, prevented. Those tags are going to be through, but Ixie won't be able to weather the storm. Can Swizzy fare any better here? Still getting lit by these Surge tags. He has to find a full elimination. 192 below. He knows that there are players fighting nearby, but will he actually have a chance to strike?
Yeah, he's officially on a clock. He has about 130 of HP to heal in this situation, which is not much. We're in the 5th zone. Now he's taking behind. It's going to go 2 to a 5 tick and active surge. All that damage is going to start to add up, and he is still below the damage threshold. 346. That's almost essentially 2 eliminations.
80 man in een minicirkel.
By himself with his back pushed up against the wall. Even further now is Doxy. Maybe X-Pawn as well are trying to get elimination of their own.
Yes, Mary, no opportunity to go ahead and let Swizzy get any damage here as they're going to be using the overdrive grenades to go ahead and disengage. That is worst case scenario for Swizzy. For somebody that needs to do 300 damage, you want to be close, you want to be personal, because the shotgun is going to be your best friend. Because as you can see right now, the chase is on. Not only does he need to go ahead and pick up both of these eliminations seemingly right now, but he needs to get in the zone. Finally, a tag comes in, 12 HP to work with, 2 ticks left.
Zo irritant, dat zwarte ding met beeld, man.
There were only so many places left for Swizzy to actually venture through, and Doxy X1, they just played that one excellently. They knew that he was trapped. He had nowhere left to run to. And just like that, we're right back here at Sandy Strip, and the queue is going to be his worst nightmare right now for Minifio. It's sent everyone flying, but Chino, what kind of aim course is he running over here?
I need his routine right now. That was one of the most insane things I've seen in quite a while. Not only getting a knock mid-air, but cleaning up the eliminations, and that is exactly why they land at Sandy Strip. They know teams will float around and try to use that as a mode of rotation. We've seen multiple teams, not just then.
Hey, maar ga nog even iemand ready of wat? Ik zie heet dat zwarte kudding in beeld, man. Irritant.
Ja, cool.
All the way over here to Sanctuary. That being said, I feel like they found themselves in a very favorable position. 500 damage above, as I say that, drop that down to 300. But they have pretty much the high ground secured as it currently stands. We know they love playing.
Die gaat waarschijnlijk voor high ground.
This is definitely the
Maybe.
best sort of position that we have seen Peterbot and Poyo all 3 games so far today. Sky Scroll, on the other hand, though, way off in the distance, separated from the rest of the lobby, trying to see if they can just break in to the edge of zone, hoping that they get a chance to try and take out any duos that might be looking to try and cut them off, but instead will find a secure position to start tarping out, securing space, and now they can take the chance to look back.
Yeah, this is the point in the game where you have
Niks is weer dood.
You've been in it for 7 zones. There's 26 teams. One more falls, and you start to get those placement points, so you don't want to have to look back and say, we wasted a lot of opportunities here throughout the tournament. Placement points are now starting to come in. 25 teams still up. But you see 49 players. That means someone in this lobby is running around as a solo.
Malabuka and Vico, right? They almost found the opportunity right there on Yuma and Koyoto. As you can see right now, the zone is actually pulling north. And when a pull like this happens, any team that's already based up here is going to have the opportunity to pick up the higher ground. And that's going to be Yuma and Koyoto as it currently stands. Tuning in with Sky and Scroll. We just looked at these guys 45 seconds ago. They had 21 materials to their name. Elims are going to be
Als dit de hele tijd zo kut is met dat zwarte ding in mijn beeld, dan stop ik echt met dit game mode, bro.
Ja, lief gewoon in, gaat hem opnieuw.
Het is echt heel kut. Lief.
Omdat er heel tijd mensen joinen.
Gek spissen. Jawel, ga pissen.
Hij is sitting out. Zeg is automatisch omdat hij AFK staat.
Eeuwa! Ik ben op de wc, zei ik nog. Dat zeg ik al 3 keer. Ja, dan moet je het niet allemaal doorheen praten, dan hoor je het, hè. Ik heb al 3 keer gezegd, ik ga pissen. I'm a bitch to the world. Maar hoeveel potten moeten ze spelen, man?
Vandaag in totaal 6, morgen 6 en zondag 8.
Ah, oké, dus dit duurt dan 10 uur of zo?
9:30 of zoiets.
Ja, weet. Helemaal dik prima. Dik prima. Geen stress, wodka fles. Heerlijk!
Ja bro, dit is een bug, hè. 1,5 minuut in queue, man. Ik heb een switch van game mode.
Ja. Maar gast, al die levels van jullie, jongen, echt verslaafd op wachten.
Ja, ik zag, ja, gewoon grinden.
Wie de grap zet blitz op, hoor.
Even wisselen.
Ah, hier.
Oei, 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 oei.
Dit is zo tering heet, bro. Krijg toch daar, man. Krijg toch de kukaracha.
Say wallahi, bro, say wallahi.
Wallah. Niet K3. Ik haat K3.
Talk me through it. I mean, like.
Wie dit XP42 heeft het gewonnen.
Ik heb echt nachtmerries aan die kutnummers van KD, bro. Echt schweer.
It wasn't that easy. He had to solo clutch it.
Well, you know what, British players, you know, we have to talk a big
Trent en Twy hebben deze gewonnen.
What is the plan here in Düsseldorf?
I mean, you just run
Hey,
eliminate everyone.
Hey, komen jullie ook nog meedoen?
And it's interesting because I feel like some of the
Ik ben een team
European
af.
teams have actually struggled with the zones with net surge. How have you been finding it?
Net surge?
Jawel, er staat, hier kan nog één iemand in, hier kan nog sowieso mensen in, hier ook.
Yeah, King the W.
Yeah.
So, Düsseldorf, what do we think of Quiet Cringe? Okay then, that's 3 games done. We're going to have a short break. When we come back, we'll be assessing all the action so far.
Short break. Maar zolang dat ga ik gewoon even Battle Royale, man. Ja. Het is gewoon 3 minuten, ik dacht zo, ja. Ja.
Ik wil...
Ik vind het dan dat ik niet kan sprinten, man. Wallahi. Ik zal wel even... Zo.
Oh nee, toch. Ik check één ding. Hoi. Oh, Malo. What the fuck is dat voor kutnaam, bro? Even serieus, man. Bro. Doing good. Hey, wa.
Wow, ik heb eindelijk goede loot. Ah, ik vind lag, man. Deze game mode lagt gewoon. Ligt aan dit high game mode.
Wat doet die teammate ook, bro?
Ja, ik lag jullie ook zo hard.
Ja, ik kan bijna niet gamen hier.
Oh, ik teleporteer helemaal. Oh, ik kan niet sprinten, man. Oh, ik ben een second.
Deze game mode is zo kut, bro.
Lek te hard.
Ja, man. Hallo, kan ik bouwen, vriend? Jezus, ja. Oh, wat een kutspel, bro. Ik kan niet bouwen.
Ik lag, bro! Oh my god. Het is zo hard, man. En hoe kan dat ook? De vorige map van Legends Landing was veel beter, man. Dit is gewoon live. Ik heb poep.
UK fans out there. Represent.
Ja, ik ga niet meer spelen, man. Holy shit.
Ja, je moet ze meer.
Congrats to them seeing him get a victory out in that situation. I can't believe it as well against Sky and Strawman for like just a moment. I really believe Sky and Straw, this is it, their moment, game 3, they're gonna strike. And then Creep said, sorry about that. I've made my way here based on my skill, my merit, my prowess. Scroll, you're gonna have to sit down this time.
What a performance from Cringe here at the end. I mean, to take down Sky like that, to 1v2 the best duo in EU coming into today. I mean, what a performance from him individually. This is a duo that we've seen rising up throughout the course of EU, a team that we have expectations of because of their talent level, a team that's developing and coming through. And yes, we're going to be biased because they're UK. Yes, I'm sure Resub at home is watching. I think he's actually in the arena, very, very happy. He'll be very happy, of course, because Cringe is Scottish, but this is a team that are actually genuinely improving. They're getting better, bias hat off. They're looking good.
Yeah, great fundamentals, great mechanics. I think we know that. You saw that at the end, right? Cringe wins because he has the really nice right hand, and Scroll in a situation where you just couldn't even see it, right? To hit the shot.
Ja, maar gast, dan krijg ik weer dat kutding in beeld.
Ik weet dat zwarte ding, man.
Ja, ik ook.
Wie is er geliefd? Die Ryan in 2016 zit in de lobby. Oh my god.
Sort of helps him as well, right? I'm glad twice.
En nu weer. En nu wel weer. Wat?
Yeah, he's like keeping him humble. You know, that's a mark of a
Kan jij het liever, boys?
Dial it back a little bit. On the other side, obviously, Sky and Scroll. You know, what started as a really tough start to Summit upper bracket. Now, you know, suddenly we're starting to pick up the pace, taking it all the way to a second place with a ton of eliminations. I feel like this is a Sky and Stroll we're kind of used to seeing.
I'd have to say, yeah, right? I think we've seen games like this from them in the EU Major Finals where they are just together. They are able to sort of get through on this low ground. I think Vivid called it out really well where you could see what they were trying to do very early on into that end game as far as establishing low ground. And even though there are more teams trying to do it, right, after seeing their success, they are still just the best in the world when it comes to claiming that layer.
Yeah, I think it was around 10th zone. They took that front side low, and I was like, yeah, really, really nice zone. Front side of a low take from these guys, and ultimately because they played it so much, they were able just to bat away any of the competition. I think Thomas HD was down there at one point as well, trying to take it. Unfortunately, of course, couldn't close out the game successfully, but what's that, 10 eliminations for these guys? You mentioned it, Zeke. Not the greatest start for them, but a huge comeback, and that's what individual games can do in this form.
Yeah, and that might be enough to just suddenly shoot them up the standings, right? I mean, especially like, look, Flying Prince 7th place, just below them, Sky and Scroll. It only takes one really good game like that, Mitty, so I love seeing that out of both of these duos. It just looks so good, right? And even all the way at the top, Yapko Panther still firing on all cylinders, Vinny.
Yeah, it's great to see. I mean, we've all known that Panzer has been a very, very exciting talent ever since he sort of burst onto the scene in trios with Mr. Savage.
Oh, is
people were saying he carried them to the success in Major 1 of trios. Then he's just keeping on developing, keeping on improving throughout that entire time. And now in duos, finding that team.
Het is onnice te zeggen, zoals altijd.
His game style and gameplay is really paying dividends for him right now.
Yeah, I think the thing with these two is they've been rather inconsistent in EU, right? If you've been following EU, they have weeks where they look like, okay, this is the real deal. These guys are going to be one of the big teams in EU. And then they have a lot of weeks where it's pretty anonymous.
Lack of
and I think a lot of us were wondering
Christ.
which version of Yapko and Panther we're going to see on the stage today. We got the best version possible, and I'm happy about it.
Dude, they've got to be happy about that too, right? Like, hey, we're looking good. We're on top right now. Let's just make sure we bring that energy back to the finals, right? Wanted to also highlight Peterbot and Pollo. Finally, we get a game out of them where they are together. We do see this often, right? It's either Pollo or Peterbot as a solo, but finally kind of recognizing, okay, look, this is a high caliber lobby. If we're going to find that success, we need to stick together.
Yeah, we haven't seen that scariness, I guess you could say, for these guys for a little while now. Of course, last Globals not performing to their level that you'd expect from them. Of course, Major One still, of course, qualified here, but still not quite performing as we would expect. And even here today, it's been a bit sort of reminiscent of that, Levin. They've had their moments, they've had their ability to fight. We've seen them getting a few eliminations, but it's that togetherness, it's that over-eagerness maybe to try and go for these plays.
Yeah, not to be a nostalgia merchant, right?
Okay.
But when you look at the last time we saw them as a duo on a stage like this, when they won Globals, they were playing a very different game to the rest of the lobby, right? That was always the big talking point. They had all these different advantages that meant that the game they were playing was different. Here in this lobby, they're having to figure out how everybody else is having to play the game, right? And that has been one of the themes of them this season is, you know, when they aren't in situations where they have some huge advantage, can they play really good, fundamental, solid Fortnite? And I think they're starting to get there. They're starting to figure things out. It's a rough start, like you said, Zeke, but still plenty more games. And I think for these two especially, it's just about making sure they're playing on Sunday.
Waar is deze pistool? Pak maar de heavy. Hoezo plant ik allemaal een fucking kankertaart, man? Het 130 zeer voor zeer. Fucking pot. Ik kan niet schieten, wat? Oh, deze game. Wauw. De game staat juist wel een beetje start. Zo is beter. Hey. Oh, waar zit de kop? Fucking hell, man! Hoezo kan mijn pistool niet blijven schieten, bro? Hoe stopt die opeens? Ja, dat die pistool is dus gebeukt. Of ik heb er een rare setting veranderd. De kankermoeder! Voor die... Oh, voilà. Welke setting is dat? Of ligt ze aan mij? Nee, wacht. Ah. snap het niet, man. Ik ga even een jaar op mee pakken. Even kijken of die wel werkt. Hier, sta je eruit van. Deze blijft wel gewoon schieten. Is dat stop gewoon, bro. Dan ga je niet meer meenemen. Dat doe normaal. Kleine lobby focus. Kankermoeder! Kankerpedofiel, man. Ja, ik ga even niet meer kijken, hoor. Over kutmap is het ook. Voila! Kankerhoerzone, man. Wacht, hè. Hier, kom. Hij moet waarschijnlijk ook geen events kijken, hoor. Wat? Ja, bro. Ja, bro. Get out. Ik sta vast, bro. Deze game mode maakt mij even ziek. Zemmers.
Yo. Ewa. Ja, ik was even geliefd, anders verpest ik het voor jou. Er waren de hele tijd twee aan het schreeuwen, man.
Ja, maar dat hoor ik niet omdat je alleen maar vreemd hebt als. Ik wil niet 100 kleine kindjes horen. Ben ik niet stil.
Ja, dat wist ik dus niet. Ik denk, ja, dan laat ik jou gewoon je ding doen.
Ja.
Ja, maar ik wist niet dat bij jou anders was. Dat wist ik.
Zet al lekker af.
Ja. Wat ben je nou aan het doen dan?
Ik heb iets. Gewoon een beetje aan het fighten.
Oh, je bent ook gestopt met dat, of niet?
Ja, het ding is, er was zo'n kwartier lang pauze tussen de volgende game, maar die map is kut, man.
Ja, ik weet het.
Er zijn dat kleine kinderen van 6 jaar oud komen joinen. Onwaardig.
Ja.
Dan ga ik iets anders doen.
Ja, snap.
Dus ja, zondag krijg ik dan af.
Ja, zondag ga ik gewoon alleen samen met jou dan. En dan gewoon zomaar kijken. Ik kan ook.
Ja, dat is wel beter.
Ja, die moet ook wel.
Mensen, team op mij, man! Ja, in die map kon ik niet sprinten. Iedereen liep voor mij, zodat ik niet deftig naar het scherm kon kijken. Mensen, ja, weet ik veel, man. Helemaal kut.
Ja. Hey, je moet even uit de game chat gaan, Kimmy.
$140? Laat die kleine zibbees van je zien. Ach, Digga. Je kan!
Ja, Kimmy, wat doe je? Echt man, luister nou eens. Ga uit die gamechat. Zeg al 3 keer. Oh, dit hadden we gewoon moeten winnen. Het feit dat we gewoon kunnen winnen.
Man! Fucking Warzone, man! Oh, fucking auto shotgun. Ik spring gelijk op deze Warzone. Kom dan. Je gaat weg van mij, kanaal. Fucking tackle, man. Dit.
Ik ga gewoon even boxfight doen, 3 versus 3 of zo.
Wacht even. Maar bro.
I'm up into the world.
What? Oh, fucking auto shotgun, man! Vuile transgender, jongen. Oh my god.
Yo, boys. Man.
This guy speelt alleen maar met fucking... Ah, man!
Ah, jek.
Fucking Warzone. Fucking hard shotgun, man!
Even pissen, man.
100 keer per dag pissen. Ah, wallah, kies iets, hè.
Yo, waarom doet die 3v3 niet? Wacht, ik doe even anders. Ik zet er even een andere game mode op en dan doe ik deze. Zo, even een heel snel klein pasje gedaan. Oh man. Yo, Frederik, maat. Ewa! Ja man, met jou? Lekker man, lekker Frederik, lekker man. Doe je straks ook nog een potje mee Frederik, of niet?
Vuile Turk. Dus zit ik in het dood.
Ik sta in een klem overal.
Zo, achter. Hé, ben je wakker? Achter man.
107. Eentje dood.
Ik zo 100.
Ik had er eentje nog. Ja, die is weer. Ja.
Waarom lijk ik zo? Ik is 100.
Aan de kant!
Ah! Elke kant man! Is 100.
Ja.
Voor box! What a one-put!
Blijf bij elkaar, bro. Deze mensen zijn zo triest.
Ah, bro, ik lijk te veel, man. Hé, bro!
Nou, 100, man!
Ik lijk zo fucking hard.
Eentje dood van ons.
Oh my god. Nou bro, what the fuck, bro, voila. Oh. Ja, wie de fuck is die wel hier? Eentje in AP. EV3 is gewoon kut, man.
Ja, kijk bro, waarom is iedereen de hele tijd...
Wie zit die warrior, bro? Die hebben zij alles, bro. Niet naar beneden, probeer. Noord, kanker, fucking shit aan bedoel ik. Pas op.
Ja. Te laat.
100, ik ben dood. Eens 100. 100. Ah bro, moet ik alles... Oh. Ja kijk bro, wat speel ik? 3v3 is gewoon kutten man. Ik ken een lobby. 2v2 is nog leuk, maar 3v3 is fucking debiel. Fucking dom.
Kijk, wat zegt Frederik? Weet ik nog niet, Frederik, maar kijk wel even. Ik weet het niet. Ja, anders doen we gewoon een box PvP of zo. Kan ook, maar mij niet uit wat jullie willen.
Ik kom trio box. Oh.
Ja, laat maar. Dan maken we deze wel af. Want ik denk dat de volgende potje zo gaan beginnen, denk ik weer, of niet?
Ja. Nou, op het ieder geval weer 100 mensen met piepstemmetjes joinen en dat mensen met beeld gaan lopen.
Ja, maar waar is die andere map gebleven dan?
Andere wat?
Die andere FNCS map. Die wij vroeger speelden.
Van diezelfde map maar veranderd.
Oh, echt?
Ja.
Dat is kut. Ja, kijk wel even. Kijk wel even verder. Oh, kut, ik zat niet op de sorry.
Ah, maar bro.
Een stuk 100, eentje.
Ik ben 1. Wie is die?
Eentje nog. Ja, ga maar reviven. Ik hou ze bezig.
Edit eraan. Die. Oh, maar kijk. Wat is alleen maar gewampen, bro.
Ja.
Maar wie zit hier die wal, man? Wat heb je verstand? Het zijn boven. Voorbox. Je jump erin af, hij is alleen. Nokt. Finish. Finish! Hallo, paarse. Dood. Onze wal. Oh my god. Hij spreekt op mij. Attention. Dat is mijn box. 100. Eindelijk.
Lekker.
Wie is het hier van Holla? Hallo?
Kom maar vrouwen doen.
Nocht. Ik kan hem niet finishen. Dit prinses. Vijftig. Zijn ze dood. Pas op.
Dood.
Zwarte. Dat punt 38, bro.
Ja, bij mij was het maar 20. What the fuck?
We zijn maar met 2, wat? Maar ik mis elk fucking schot!
Ik heb hem al, Maar ik heb fucking veel lag, bro.
Hé, wat? 100. Wow. Maar wie heeft mij naar beneden, bro? Wallah, wie heeft dat gedaan, man?
Elke idioot staat ook weer in de weg.
Oh my god.
Waarom gaan mensen ook altijd in de weg staan, bro? Laat mij lekker fighten. Niet mee bemoeien dan.
Hallo. Maar bro, kijk, one punch, man! Mijn punt met fucking 20 damage op zijn fucking voorhoofd, man. Niet in de weg lopen, man. Eindelijk.
Go. $50.
100.
Nou, even geluk. Dat was ook weer even leuk geweest. Maar ik denk niet dat ik heel lang boven blijf, jongens. Veel te warm.
In de avond is het toch kouder als in de middag.
Oh, dat is niet normaal, man. Kies jullie maar even.
Fuck is dit voor game mode?
Weet ik niet, een van jullie hebben het aangezet.
Ja, ik ken niet. Het is 2v2 en jullie twee gaan waarschijnlijk weer tegen mij, hè? Het gaat weer zoiets zijn.
Nee, ik kan ook wel samen met jou als je wil.
Ja, dat is niet eerlijk, bro. Die guy is, ja. Ja. Ik weet niet of het public of private is.
Public volgens mij. Zeker weten doe ik het niet, maar volgens mij is het public.
Ja.
Dat wel. Zo.
Wat is nu de bedoeling dan? Oh.
Ik ben met jou nou. Nou, deze kan wel. Ik weet niet wie.
Ja, iedereen kan daar een beetje rempjes bouwen. Ik ben naar hem toe.
Ander is ook al 70 kwijt.
Ik ben aan het pushen. 100. Verbox! Oh, shit on.
Ik weet niet waar die andere is.
Zij heeft de camper.
Nee, ik weet niet waar.
Ja, toch niet.
Wat doe jij? Val dood. Bijna. Shit happens. Oh, bijna headshot bro.
Ik heb wel op een maf man.
Voor 121 die guy. Beneden. Hier. Nooit.
Wat is het voor skere game mode? Een platte map met een paar gebouwen van Tilted, wel.
Wat? Waar? Nou, was nog niet zo'n hele mooie snipe, vond ik hoor. Die was gewoon meer vies. Cracked. Eentje 100.
Ja, ik is ook even man. Ik weet niet of dat zo werkt, want...
Nog een keer 100.
Ik val. Ik val dood! Bro. Deze game mode. Fuck me, het is
Waar? Jongen, deze gast, jongen, die teammate van jou, Kimi, die is gewoon echt tering slecht, bro. Hij doet alleen maar, hij komt de hele tijd uit het niks, bro, echt. Alleen vieze kutcamper, bro. Zeker geen vet, bro.
Ja, dat ding is fucking hoog, bro, ik kan niet spelen. Wie is er altijd zo gebouwd? Camper, bro, kan je kiezen, voilà. En die zit nog onder ons. Je ziet daar nog.
100!
Ja, ik kan dus...
Jimmy, ga pushen man, ga niet zo doen bro. Alleen campen, dat doe ik toch ook niet.
Ik ben niet op.
Weet ik veel. Die guy is sowieso bijna dood. Ik had hem al 150 keertje moeten naaien.
Maar bro, je kruist en je pakt een bal, bro.
Kijk hoe hij het speelt, joh. Zo vies, man.
Oh, jullie zijn zo eigenlijk slecht, man.
Nou, Maro, lock in.
Gast. Ik heb gewoon lekker knap, man. Je zit met allebei op een rem, bro. Fuck jullie, man. Een rare duizend,
Eentje zit beneden gewoon alleen maar.
Adios.
Op, 30. 100. 100, bijna 1. Die 1 is 1. Die vlot is 1, bro.
Ja, maar die andere zit weer te campen, wallen. Jullie zijn high graag. Jullie zijn poep. Jullie zijn nat, gewoon natte poep gewoon, man. Een fucking simple edit. Jullie zijn fucking ik ga liever, man. Fuck jullie allebei, wolla. Simple edit, man. Speel normaal, wolla. Beetje campen, man. 2v2. Fucking zenders. What the fuck, man.